set the standards for the AFL. Orlando's Ironman Barry Wagner and Albany's offensive specialist Eddie Brown, a mirror image of greatness. If you didn't know better, you might think you're watching the same player. Their careers and numbers almost mirror each other the past 5 seasons. They're currently dead even in career touchdown receptions with 194. Last week, the Predators prevailed in round 1. Tonight, the Firebirds look to even the score in a battle between one of the AFL's growing rivalries. This week's showcase game in the AFL comes to you live from Albany, New York, where tonight the Albany Firebirds look for a little payback as they play host to the Orlando Predators. Both teams heading for the midway point of the 1999 regular season. You can see the importance of the outcome. The winner moves in front of the pack of their respective division by 1/2 game. Hi, everybody. Alongside Merril Hoge, I'm Mike Gleason. Thanks for joining us tonight. We should have a bang-up game. Last week's game probably not as high-scoring as anticipated, Merril, but let's face it. They slugged it out for 60 minutes, and right now, 5-2 looks a lot better than 4-3.
And, Mike, really the difference between winning and losing in this game, you put yourself in the driver's seat versus the passenger side. You create momentum for the last part of the season, and if it comes down to it, on the last part of the season or the end of the season, the team that wins will probably have the advantage in the tie-breaking. And you mentioned slugfest. I expect another one tonight.
Last week, Orlando wins at 45-38. Pat O'Hara gets 4 touchdown passes. He's on the bench watching Brownie Nagel tonight.
And I'm a little surprised because Brownie Nagel separated his throwing shoulder 2 weeks ago. That's very difficult for a quarterback to come back from so soon. But Orlando likes to throw short to intermediate routes. That's important because I don't think Brownie's shoulder is strong enough to go deep consistently, but also plays into what Orlando would like to do. Control the ball, keep more possessions than Albany. That means a lot of offensive plays for Orlando, very few for Albany.
And when they kick it off, obviously winning is first and foremost. Let's face it, the spotlight shining on that matchup, Eddie Brown and Barry Wagner.
And both these guys are the heartbeats or the pulse of their teams. Both guys have different styles. Eddie Brown is very decisive in his route running. Difficult to cover. When he gets his hands on the ball, very difficult to tackle. Barry Wagner, 6-time Ironman of the Year. The thing he does better than anybody in arena football is when the ball's in the air, he uses his body to get in position to go up and get the ball. Last week, you look at the matchup, Barry Wagner won it, obviously. Look at the yards and the touchdowns. Eddie Brown is a determined young man. He wants to change those stats around, particularly the touchdown area. He would like to get in the end zone a lot more.
And last week, one of those rare back-to-back meetings. Look at the time of possession, Merril. 39 minutes, 23 seconds. They had 55 plays. But look at the final score, 45-38, favoring the other team.
Mike, really the difference, though, is turnovers. I talk about it every week, turnovers. And then where did they happen? That second turnover for Albany happened in the last stage of the game on the 3-yard line with an opportunity to win with plenty enough time to win. So turnovers and where they happen. And then special teams, they did miss some opportunities as far as field goals go.
And that's Jay Jones back for Albany to receive the opening kickoff. As David Cool gets ready to approach the ball. Both teams at 4-2. A lot riding on this football game from Albany, New York tonight. Cool. Off the net. Jones. With some running room early. Across the 10. Almost up to the 15. He's dropped at the 14. Orlando beating Albany last week, snapping a 3-game winning streak. As we check out the starting quarterback, Mike Palowski. Out of Cal. Hitting 64, almost 65% of his passes. 30 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Last week, Palowski had his team moving down. And they fumbled the football at the 3-yard line. They were moving in for the tying score. Palowski quickly goes upstairs, going for broke. He overshoots his man. Well, Eddie Brown will get most of the looks. Greg Hopkins is averaging 15 yards a catch. But Van Johnson caught 9 balls last week, good for 107 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the trenches. It's Valvo at tight end, but the man anchoring it is a 5th-year man out of Kansas, and that being Kyle Moore Brown, one of the captains for Mike Daly's Firebirds. Second out and 10 yards to go for the Firebirds. Their first possession. Trips on the top of your screen. Jones in motion. Palowski goes down looking for Jones. He has it at the midfield stripe, and he's dragged down. On the coverage, Kevin Gaines for Orlando. Defensively for the Predators, former Michigan Wolverine William Carr. He started late. He finished up his school for his degree. He already has 3 sacks, and that's number 1, tied for number 1 in the league. Damon Mason's 49 tackles is tied for first, but Kenny McIntyre already has 4 picks. That's tops in the AFL, and more than 18 yards returning those interceptions, and he's returned 2 for touchdowns already at 1999. First down for the Firebirds, their first possession. Go! Twin receivers, bottom of your screen. Eddie Brown in motion now. Let's go! Walowski overshoots Jones at the 24, and will bring up a second and 10.
You know, Mike, something that's been interesting early in the game is Eddie Brown. There's not been one ball to Eddie Brown. What they're trying to do is get the ball elsewhere to other receivers, take the focus off of Eddie Brown, force Orlando to shift some coverages, get Eddie Brown one-on-one. That's when he becomes most deadly, when he gets one-on-one, because he's such a great route runner.
Opens up some separation with the DBs.
He breaks down that cushion as good as anybody I've seen.
That's Brown at the bottom of your screen. Walowski looking, finding Brown. He's pushed out of bounds by Kenny McIntyre, just shy of the 10-yard line.
Mike, this is going to be a great matchup all night. We have to watch it. McIntyre versus Brown. McIntyre really won it last week. The thing about Eddie Brown, you have to give him cushion. You see there's a lot of separation between the secondary guy because he is respecting Eddie Brown's route running ability. Eddie Brown knows that. That's why he presses into that defensive back and gets out of his break so quickly. That's why he is a deceptive route runner. Very difficult to cover. Short routes and long routes.
Hopkins this time in motion. Walowski's hit from behind. And it's going to be an incomplete pass. Very, very close to a fumbled football, but his arm was moving forward. And that'll bring up a second down.
Well, I tell you what, McKenzie, Rich McKenzie, number 90, coming around that corner to the blind side of the quarterback. That's really the thing, I mean, really unblocked. The thing that Orlando did last week, blow some protections up front. Well, Albany here, the fullback really should be coming across to block that end. McKenzie, fullback obviously didn't get the call in the huddle. The line slid away. Fullback needs to come back. Didn't happen. Not a good place to happen, down when you score territory and to the blind side of your quarterback.
Jay Gruden told us earlier today, keep an eye on McKenzie. He was all over Walowski a week ago. Out of Penn State, Walowski looking and finding Hopkins for the touchdown. Last week, they played 15 minutes of scoreless football, but this time the Firebirds score on their initial possession.
And the one thing, talking to Eddie Brown on the phone, and all these Albany players, they said the one thing we have to do is be more physical. Now, what do you talk about physical? You watch Hopkins come down here. He's trying to get jammed. You see that? Bam! He got Damon Mason and just threw him aside. That's why Hopkins was so wide open. That's when you're talking about being physical. It's not just down in the trenches. Receivers need to be physical. See those defensive backs come up? We got to get them off the jam.
Don Silvestri out of Pittsburgh, the left-footed kicker, wide to the left side, so he misses the extra point. So we're going to take a break. Greg Hopkins scores the first touchdown. It's 6-0 Firebirds over the Predators.
Arena football, where the fans are as pumped as the players. Watch it on ESPN and ESPN2.
It's time I traveled lighter and threw away my maps and made up for the seriousness of my youth with a little madness.
In a battle against athletes, but you gotta have boom. Tough actin Tinactin. Now in a new pump spray. Nothing stops the itching, burning, and cracking like clinically proven Tinactin antifungal. They're so tough they can even prevent athlete split. Get boom. Tough actin Tinactin.
Twist it, turn it, any way you want it, anywhere you want it to go.
Goes where you want it.
Move it up high, baby, you can move it down low.
Stays where you put it.
The flexible
massage from Teledyne Waterpick.
ESPN2's presentation of Arena Football is brought to you by Tough Actin Tinactin, the official foot care product and antifungal of the Arena Football League, and by the U.S. Navy. Let the journey begin. And tonight's journey from Albany begins with Greg Hopkins scoring his 8th touchdown of the 1999 season, and we will take another look at it.
When you get the ball, the thing you want to do is set the tempo. Right here, right left of your screen, that's a tempo setter. Mason comes up to jam Hopkins. Hopkins said, I will have nothing to do with that. And he knocks him completely off the screen nearly. Wide open for the touchdown. And I'll say this, Mike Gleason, you're the voice of Arena Football. If you were that wide open, you'd even got it.
There's the man to keep an eye on tonight, Barry Wagner, 6-time Iron Man of the Year, 6 straight years last year. Stepping aside for Chad Dukes, who played right here for the Firebirds in Albany. Silvestri, who missed the extra points, he was 41 of 43 coming into the game on the PATs. He goes high off the nets, and Wagner will play. And he is tripped up just over the goal line. Great coverage that time, and look who's down, number 82. It's Mr. Hopkins.
Mike, I had a chance to watch the tape last week's game between Albany and Orlando. And yes, we talked about Eddie Brown and Barry Wagner, but I'm telling you this. Greg Hopkins kept appearing. I mean, he kept showing up in the screens, offensively and defensively.
Ronnie Nagel back in the starting lineup, banging up his shoulder a couple of games ago. Pat O'Hara was at the controls last week. Ronnie Nagel out of the University of Louisville. He's a rookie after spending 6 years in the National Football League. So the Predators want to start deep in their territory. Penalty flags down. Ball is complete to Cooper. Little movement, and it looks like Albany jumped off top.
Mike, I think you're exactly right. It's going to go against Albany offsides, but this is the thing Orlando's going to have to do tonight. With Brownie Nagel's shoulder, you got to get it warmed up. Hitch routes, stack routes, if you will, little short intermediate routes, crossing routes are really going to be important for Orlando.
Flag on the defense. Those penalties are declined. Illegal defense. The linebacker was number 82. 5 yards. First down.
Well, first down, so they're going to take the completed pass offensively for the Predators. Barry Wagner may be the focal point, but Brett Cooper really having a bang-up year, averaging 105 yards a game, 9 touchdowns. Up front, Webby Burnett had played in 92 consecutive regular season games before missing a couple of weeks ago. He's out with that hamstring injury, so Kevin Johnson will start at center. KJ probably more suited for a guard, so that's definitely a position to keep an eye on, because Jay Gruden telling us that he's not super happy with the pass protection. A lot of defensive players still trying to learn how to play offensive football down in the trenches. Brownie Nagel, flush from the pocket, overshoots his man. And it's number 1, Brett Cooper again. Covering on the play, Chris Lawson. And defensively for Albany, Joe Jacobs had 8 sacks last year, which tied for second in the AFL. Jacobs, all AFL, first team, 2.5 sacks this year. That's also tied for second. In the secondary, Derek Stingley tied with Orlando's David Mason with 49 tackles, and he has 11 passes. He's already broken up, second best in the league. He also has 2 INTs coming into the game tonight. Orlando facing a second and 10. Wagner at the bottom of your screen. It's Wagner. Where's the football? Wagner across the 15, dropped at the 17-yard line. Once again, number 82, Greg Hopkins on the play for Albany.
That's a safe route, and you get the ball into your playmaker's hands. Barry Wagner, a little screen flash, take your receiver out to block the coverage guy over Wagner, and that's really what you have to do when you're Orlando, because you just don't have an offensive line that can protect.
28 toss on 2. Ready?
Now you're 28 toss. That's going to be a pitch. That's going to be a pitch to the running back, and they're going to come to the right side of the field.
Running back, the big guy, Rick Hamilton, but they won't get the play off. The whistles.
No.
On a third and very, very short.
Well, let's see if they stay with that play, because sometimes offensive coordinators like Jay Gruden have a change of heart sometimes when they have a moment to think.
2, left trip. 28 toss on 2. Ready?
They're going to stay with it. What they're going to do when you hear that zoom, they're going to take the motion. They're going to take it away from the right side and give the running back some opportunity to run the ball.
They rushed for 89 yards last week against Albany. Here's Hamilton, puts his head down. We should have it up for the first down. Actually, Hopkins made the initial contact behind the line of scrimmage, but Rick Hamilton put his head down, and at 6'2", 241 pounds, He moved the chains, picked up the first down.
Well, Jay Gruden believes you win championships by the big factor backs getting the ball, the ground game, and playing good defense. When you need a half a yard, that's the man you want the ball in his hands. Rick Hamilton. He has the ability not only to get you a yard, but I'll tell you what, somebody messes up, he breaks a tackle, adios amigos.
They actually outrushed Albany 89-9 a week ago in that 45-38 victory. Cooper in motion. Nagel's going down. Somebody stepped on his foot, and he never regained control. So Nagel, who had the banged-up shoulder and watched last week as Pat O'Hara took over the controls, off to a relatively slow start.
Well, I think what you're going to see is the old classic case of an offensive lineman getting back a little too quick, stepping on the quarterback's foot. Or, from the quarterback standpoint, you see the right guard there stepping over. The offensive lineman would say, no, the quarterback didn't get his feet out of the way. I didn't get my feet back there too quick. Quarterback didn't get his feet out of the way.
Someone has to take the blame, right?
That's right.
Penalty flags down. Nagel stumbled a little bit coming out of the pocket. And the ball is complete over the 20 to about the 23-yard line. As Antoine Wyatt, the rookie out of Bethune-Cookman, pulls it in, but another penalty flag down.
Well, in arena football, that's a great area for holding or an illegal defense.
Both flags. No tight end declared by the offense. Repeat the down after the penalty.
So the Orly goes against Orlando. And Merrill, right now, let's take a look at the keys to the game.
Yeah, you look at the keys of the game. This is really for both teams. Turnovers are critical. That was the deciding factor last week in last week's game, and the reason Orlando was able to win. Big players, big plays. That's Eddie Brown and Barry Wagner. Got to get the ball in their hands. They've got to come up with some big plays. And then let's get physical. Albany physically whipped Albany last week. Albany wants to physically whip Orlando. So we'll see how that matchup unfolds.
Second and an eternity. Another penalty flag goes down, this time from the secondary. Cooper across the 20. Dives to about the 24-yard line. But again, the play started with yellow laundry all over the football field.
And I'm really surprised at this. The officials were looking for some food before the game, and I thought they'd be so hungry they'd be a little shy on the flag so they could go get dinner. But they're out here flag happy already.
Well, this time the flag dropped. And the early indication it goes against Albany.
Illegal formation by the defense. The end was too wide. 5 yards, repeat it down.
What you're looking at, these ends have to be lined up right here on the inside shoulder. Right out here, these guys. Now, this guy's all right. This guy is too wide. He's not on the inside shoulder there. My illustrator's just a little off. My finger's too fat or something. But as an end, you got to be on the outside shoulder of those guards. If you get too wide, and it could be a fraction of an inch, as we have seen through the course of the year, they're going to throw the flag.
I was going to say he was about 5 or 6 inches.
Well, if I could ever draw a straight line, I think the folks would understand that. But either my finger or the telestrator's off. So here's, I'm passing the buck. This is telestrator's fault.
We get you near a football field. You get the adrenaline flowing. We understand.
Play was declined. Third and 5.
Go to left. 52. Fake. Quick left to wide. Ding. 1-2. Ready.
Now that's a lot of verbiage out there, but the 52 tells you it's going to be a 5-step. When you see a quick sting, it's going to be more like a quick route.
Third, a little more than 5. So pump fake. Wagner, touchdown! Barry Wagner in his 8th year out of Alabama A&M. And he said before the game, make sure you tell my peers at Alabama A&M that I'm alive and well.
And he's from Alabama, not North Carolina. What a great play. Discipline by Brown and Nagel. Pump it. Hold the secondary. And now you got your playmaker wide open. Get the ball in the air. And you know Barry Wagner, so physical. Tough to stop him once you're trailing from behind. You see that little pump held that secondary defender just for a moment. That allows Barry Wagner to get right over.
That's his 20th here in the 99 season. Keep in mind that's 195, so he is 5 shy of 200. He and Eddie Brown in the race for 200. Cool. Drills it right down the middle. Orlando answers on their first possession. 5:24 to go in the first 15 minutes. It's down. The Predators 7, Albany 6.
You're feeling a lot of love right now. for that car insurance company that saved you some money. But when you run into trouble, will they still love you? Not. At Progressive, we give you incredible service that even those, expensive insurance companies can't touch. And people like our low prices so much, 60,000 drivers a week choose Progressive. So call Progressive now. See why all those other drivers are starting a, relationship with us.
They love me.
Superior Bank helps homeowners who help themselves.
At Superior, we saved about $800 a month. We saved over $1,000 a month.
Now we have 8 0 payments to make each month, and it feels great.
It is much easier to make one payment than to make 5.
I was able to cut my payments by a third.
We called other lenders,
but we chose Superior. Even if you're a homeowner who's been turned down before, call Superior Direct at 1-888-678-7777.
A scoreless first quarter a week ago, but not the case in Albany tonight. Orlando scoring to take the lead at 7-6. A week ago in Orlando, Mike Pawlowski tossed 5 touchdown passes for Albany, including this third quarter strike to Eddie Brown, his only of the game. Orlando's Pat O'Hara didn't have Pawlowski's numbers, but made some big plays and found Barry Wagner twice in the fourth quarter to give the Predators the lead. And the Orlando defense preserved the victory. Kenny McIntyre forced the fumble. Brett Cooper recovered with 3 seconds left in the ball game. And Orlando escapes. Mike Daly in his 3rd year as the head coach. Albany miscues 9 penalties, 26 yards. And of course the 2 turnovers that Merril talked about.
Yeah, and really that was the deciding factor. And really the penalties early in the game, they had opportunities to score, but they just kept taking themselves out of field position. And the thing you don't see there are the miscues on field goals. Had opportunities to get points and they got nothing.
This time Van Johnson's going to have a shot at returning the kickoff. Plays it high off the net. Johnson right up the middle of the field, and he is hit just over the 10-yard line. And Dorsey making the contact for Orlando. So Albany, scoring on their first possession, will have their second possession of the night, trailing by a point, 7-6. The Predators using up 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
You look at Brownie Nagel, 3 of 4, 44 yards. Very sharp for a guy coming off or still really kind of has a short shoulder from separating it. But the time of possession and the plays is really what Jay Gruden wants to happen every time they touch the ball.
Pawlowski, straight drop, goes deep, looking for Eddie Brown. He's got him for a touchdown. 195 for Eddie Brown. And there's that matchup with Eddie Brown and Barry Wagner, Merril.
Super job with the 2 receivers jamming them, but you don't get a hand on Eddie Brown and he gets down the field. They talk about, well, he doesn't have a lot of speed. Well, the thing I'll tell you he does have, he's very deceiving. You have to respect his ability to make out breaks, in breaks. That's why you have to still respect his speed. He gets up on you too quickly, he can run right by you.
And that'll definitely get the hometown crowd out of their seats. Pawlowski using 8 receivers a week ago, but obviously that's his favorite, number 17.
For hitting the player when he was out of bounds. Those penalties, touchdown and try.
There was a personal foul on McIntyre. Eddie caught the touchdown. McIntyre just gave him a little shove out of bounds. Official saw it, dropped the flag. Decline, touchdown's good. And now Albany will attempt the extra point.
Former walk-on at Pittsburgh. He was 5 for 5 last week. He missed his first tonight. The left footer boots it straight down the middle. So he's hitting 50%. 4 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first quarter from Albany. And now the Firebirds back on top. It's 13-7.
In the battle against athletes, but you gotta have boom. Tough actin' Tinactin. Now in a new pump spray. Nothing stops the itching, burning, and cracking like clinically proven Tinactin antifungals. They're so tough they can even prevent athlete's foot. Get boom. Tough actin' Tinactin.
As the pilot flies through the night sky, the helmsman steers a course that is true. The landing signal officer checks the approach. The weather crew keeps an eye on the storm. The air traffic controller directs every move. The air boss orders a clear deck. The captain gives the final word. And the plane safely lands on board USS Enterprise. In the Navy, no journey is ever made alone. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
Ice Ford. The scent of exhilaration from Aqua Velva. Now available in your skin conditioning gel.
Last year when these two teams met, 79-70 Albany beat Orlando, and I don't want to get ahead of myself there, although we could be seeing a high scoring affair here.
We really haven't got to the portion of the game where you can score a lot of points, and that's the last minute of every half. So I do smell a lot of points tonight.
Silvestri ready to kick it off. And, of course, number 82, Barry Wagner. The deep man ready to receive. Albany just 38 points last week. The first time in 33 games they failed to score at least 40. They're on the board with 13. The onside kick, and it's a live football. Heads up play that time by Dorsey. And, boy, Orlando will have great field position just outside the red zone. You roll the dice. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Well, this is a huge gamble to make an onside kick like this. You really have momentum. You may get big plays. You don't get enough distance on your onside kick. Now, you have an opportunity right there to recover it. But Dorsey, the alert player, gets the ball. And you talk about great field position. When you're down by 6 points, you're on the opponent's 8-yard line on the very next play. You talk about switching momentum. Now it's Orlando.
Jay Gruden said last week's game definitely worth the price of admission. I think it's safe to say the same thing. Over the middle, and that is a touchdown. That's B.J. Cohen out of Marshall University, the rookie. He had one reception coming in for 1 yard, and that obviously is his first touchdown.
Watch the tight end right there. It's just kind of like the version of arena football and the sneak. Boy, he comes up there untouched. Nobody protects him. Nobody covers him. And Jay Gruden did tell us. He said, hey, listen, we're going to get it to the tight end. We're going to get it to the fullback. We all were laughing.
After you were badgering.
Well, yeah. I said, hey, listen, you want to make some plays? You got to intermediate routes. Let's get the tight end involved. Let's get the fullback. Let's get the factor backs in there. Tight end's been involved. That's got to be a good sign for the tight end, first of all. And then Jay, true to his word, he's going to those guys.
David Gould missed 2 conversions a week ago. And right now he's 2 for 2 here tonight. Exactly 3 minutes ago, 14 now, 13 Orlando.
You know, Mike, that onside kick, it will not reflect in the stats as far as really anything, to be honest with you. But in my opinion, that's a turnover. When you kick the ball off and you fail an onside kick and they get on the 8-yard line, that really results in a big turnover.
Well, it's WNBA action on ESPN Monday, June 14th. A good time to see Tennessee standout and the league's #1 pick, Shamiqua Holtzclaw, as she leads the Mystics of Washington in the Madison Square Garden to tangle with the Liberty. That's Monday, June 14th. They'll tip it at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, Go.com. Of course, Rebecca Lobo, the star there in the Big Apple. Mike Daly in his 3rd year as the head coach, former offensive and defensive coordinator. Getting it done here, but they trail by a point. Orlando up 14-13. And he tried to downplay it talking with Mr. Daly here earlier today, but you got to know in the locker room they were talking revenge with the Firebirds.
Oh, Leroy Thompson, before, well, at warm-ups, was doing jumping jacks, and he was revenge. So, payback. Now, that's an indication this is a revenge game. I think that's as good a one as you can get. You know, Mike Daly, the Albany Firebirds head coach, I mean, he did allude to it a little bit, and I really like his style. I mean, he's a great teacher of the game of football. But, you know, he said, listen, playing back-to-back weeks, you do have a little more revenge factor than if there had been a few weeks between games.
Cool's kick right over the crossbar. Johnson right up the middle. A little bit of running room. Weaves his way through traffic, and he's going to be dropped at about the 13, maybe shy of the 14-yard line.
Mike, if you're Orlando right now, you got to be very happy that you withstood some offensive power from Albany. You see Jay Gruden right there. Got to be very happy. He has done a nice job so far of play calling. You know, a lot of people don't know that guy right there, the offensive coordinator on any particular team, it's important how you call a game, how you get a flow going for your team. He's done a super job of that for Brownie Nagel on that offense.
They say he was probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterback in this league, throwing for over 15,000 yards. Little swing pass goes goes out to the fullback. That's Thompson. He drops the football.
Yeah, well, getting back to Jay just a little bit, the thing that separates him, you can look at all the stats, he was mentally and physically tough.
Strong bunch right, wing loop, 50 pig, wing dig, let's go. All ready?
Okay, now you heard the pig. That's not bacon. That's a post dig. You're going to get a post route. That's going to be across the field. And then the dig, a little short route. That's going to be a 5-step drop.
Over the middle, looking for Brown. Tipped twice. He finally drops as Kenny McIntyre. They call him the glove. Pretty tight coverage that time.
Well, McIntyre's going to show up. He's already lost one battle. So there's going to be a lot of these little battles inside this war. You see, that's what Eddie Brown does so much, so well, is post routes, in routes, corner routes. And really, McIntyre's trying to guess those type of things, play those things. That's really what got him beat. He was playing an in route or a post route, got his hips turned around, and then Eddie went deep on him. Played nicely there, though.
Well, you can say what you want about being a running back. I think playing in the defensive second, or at least the corner, one of the toughest things to do in pro football. Polkowski, he's plowing his way downfield. He's all the way down to the Orlando 15.
One of the keys to be a good quarterback is you got to make good decisions. Nobody's open. Let me pull it down, and then, boy, that little limp leg move there. I think he used to be a running back at one time. And then, hey, he talked to me about being physical. When you get your opportunities as a quarterback, when you get smacked in that pocket, boy, and you got an opportunity to hit somebody, hit somebody.
Well, he's 215 pounds.
You heard Monday. Center was asking what day it was. Good call. Got the day right.
Malowski, three-step, complete. Johnson inside the 5. Cooper covering for Orlando. You know, Jeff Lutz did a great job when Pulowski was sat out the game. He had a bleeding ulcer, and he was taking ibuprofen, and it was actually lowering his blood count. And he had the same thing in a bleeding ulcer when he was at Cal years ago, and it's a good thing he said he was kind of scared.
I'd be scared, too, of the bleeding ulcer. Pulowski, though, the thing I like about him, I mean, he's got the intangibles you need to be a good quarterback in this league, too. He's smart, he gets rid of the football, and he's very, very smart.
Well, time has expired in the first 15 minutes, and it's been a very entertaining first quarter here from Albany.
I have no idea.
We head for the second quarter. Pulowski and the Firebirds trail at home. The Predators looking for their second straight win over Albany. They lead at 14-13.
How far away are you from using the internet to respond to a market change? How far away are you from making e-commerce as real as your next shipment? How far away are you from evolving the technology you have today into the solutions you'll need tomorrow? Well, if you build on your existing systems with software you know from Microsoft, like thousands of companies already have, you're closer than you think.
Yeah, they stink. But with a new Sony Digital 8 Handycam, they've never looked better. With 3 times the color information and a sharper picture than VHS-C, what you live is what you get. 8mm has gone digital.
What does it take to be an Applebee's salad?
Great flavor, lots of flavor, and
everybody.
There's nothing like an Applebee's salad. That looks good.
It's our Aztec chicken salad. It's new. Zesty pepper grilled chicken.
Delicious.
It's great.
Fresh, crunchy romaine, black beans, sweet corn.
Fresh, really crunchy.
Crispy tortilla strips, pepper jack cheese.
Oh, this dressing. A lot of different flavors, and they're all so good together.
I have to try that Aztec chicken salad.
It won't be around forever. Taste the new Aztec chicken salad today. One of 6 delicious salads during the salad days of summer.
That's why I belong at Applebee's.
Make great things happen with great white paper.
It's a great day for feeling your pride, and it's a great day for smiling inside. Yes, it's a great day, so throw your arms up wide. A great day for using great white. Oh, it's a great day for making your mark, and it's a great day for working till dark. It's a great day for getting a spark. Yes, it's a great day for using great white.
Great white. Make great things happen.
And we're back in the Pepsi Arena in Albany. The difference in the ball game, Mr. Hodge, a missed extra point.
Well, that, and I really believe that the onside kick that was failed by Albany. You see the first downs here and the yardage. What's really misleading is that onside kick, Mike. When Albany attempted the onside kick, failed to get it, Orlando got the ball on the 8-yard line. Obviously, you only need 8 yards to score, so you're not going to even get a first down there. But the result was 7 points for Orlando.
And they capitalized so quickly, too. You see down in the red zone, and near the red zone, it's so difficult to score in this game. They scored on the very first play. Hawkins in motion. Pulowski looking, a little shovel pass. And he was looking for Eddie Brown coming across the middle, and it still falls incomplete.
A nice design of a play. Just wasn't able to execute it like it was on the board, but trying to get the ball in Eddie Brown's hands.
Wing cancel left, wing yo, wing lead right. Oh, right? Attitude.
You heard attitude. That means up front, you're going to try to run the ball. Wing lead right means the guy in motion is the wing player, going to get him the ball.
Handoff goes to Brown. Brown, a little bit of running room, shy of the goal line. Penalty flag dropped in the end zone. He stopped at about the 2. Brown took that handoff, no hesitation. He had his blocking, he had his walls there, and he put his head down and tried to get in.
Take it down. Take the penalty. Take the penalty. Hey. Illegal formation by the defense. The end was lined up too wide. Half the distance. Repeat the down.
Well, there's a trend in this game, and it's the end. You see right here, got to be inside that shoulder. If you're not there, they're going to call it every time. And that's not even remotely close.
He's way outside.
That's a country mile right there, my friend.
So second down. Second and goal. Ball resting at the 2. 14-13. Predators by a point. Pulowski! Brown, his second touchdown. He had one a week ago. He's already topped that. That's 196, leaving him 4 shy of that magic number 200.
You could tell Eddie Brown's on a different level tonight, too. Eddie takes a shot. He's going to come high motion. And then you look at number 42 right there. Hamilton, I mean, you talk about laying the wood on somebody. But who comes up with the catch and the touchdown? And that ultimately is what matters. And that's Eddie Brown. Already 2 touchdowns tonight.
Well, you saw Jake Gruden. He said he didn't want to get into a track meet with his football team. He'd prefer another defensive battle. Silvestri puts it right down the middle this time. 13-16 to go in the half. Eddie Brown already with his second touchdown here tonight. And the Firebirds are back in top by 6, 20-14.
What inspired the Xterra was where sport youth weren't going. They were going upscale, more sophisticated, or they were going toy-like. What was left over was the very heart and soul of what a sport youth was born to be. An enclosed truck that could get you anywhere, you know, and do anything.
I can't believe I can get this close with an electric shaver.
The 1999 Remington Microscreen 3 gives you 3 things no other shaver can. Our most powerful motor, more cutting edges than any leading shaver, and 3 flexing microscreens. You'll say no electric shaves you closer, faster, or your money back. The Remington Microscreen 3. And men with beards. Get the Remington Precision Beard and Mustache Trimmer. Designed like no other with 8 beard length settings and mustache and neckline trimmers. Precision's perfectly easy.
For great advice about digital technology, head for Circuit City. If you're looking for a DVD player, make sure you choose one with DivX. Only DVD players with DivX play both DVD and DivX movie discs. DivX lets you watch movies at home for about what it costs to rent, but you never have to return movies or pay late fees. This RCA DVD player with DivX is only $349.99, and get any 5 DivX movies free after rebate. Plug into DivX at Circuit City.
And the scoreboard continues to change leads here in Albany. The Firebirds back on top. Join us this Saturday for one of the most exciting matchups of the season when George LaFrance of the Tampa Bay Storm travel to Orlando to battle Barry Wagner and the Orlando Predators. The This is a rematch of last season's Arena Bowl when Orlando knocked off Tampa Bay to capture the championship. That's Tampa Bay at Orlando this Saturday at 5 p.m. on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. So Wagner back again. We mentioned the 38 points last week for Albany. The first time in 33 games they failed to score at least 40. Just the third time in 57 games. Sylvester, the boot is underway. Boy, he really got the leg into this one high off the net. Here comes Wagner. Little stutter step at the goal line. He's over the 5 and up to about the 9. And that's where Orlando, trailing 20-14, will start their next possession. So Eddie Brown, Merril talked about the different outlook on this game, trying to redeem himself from last week. Brown had 3 catches on that 52-yard drive.
Yeah, and he did it all by himself. And you could tell there was a conscious effort to get the ball in Brown's hands. They did a nice job at devising a couple new plays for him. And, hey, you get the ball in that young guy's hands, he'll make something happen with it.
36-yard drive, of course. I meant to say 52 yards for the game already for Brown, and it's picked off by Hopkins Hill. They're saying he trapped it and it hit the ground. Boy, that would have been huge for the Firebirds.
You talk about it. It would have been the first turnover, and I would love to see this one again because it was so close. You would have to have been an official and be down on the sideline because it looked like Hopkins had it. You're going to see it to screen. Offensive linemen are getting out of there. Nice tip of the ball. We won't be able to see it. Maybe from this angle you'll be able to see it.
That's Joe Jacobs.
You'll see that Jacobs gets the tip there off the helmet. It's like a... Boy! I tell you. Look close. Close.
Well, we have the
luxury of looking replay. You're right.
Second down. Nagel. Antoine Wyatt had the football and got a case of the drops there.
Yeah, really on an in route, though, you'd like to lead your receiver. I mean, Wyatt, yes, would have had to make a nice catch and turn back and grab it, but when you got an in route or a slant route like that, boy, as a quarterback, lead that receiver. Lead it. Throw the ball where he's going to be, not where he's at.
Let's go back inside the huddle.
Yo-yo, get 50 scissors wide post in on 1, ready?
You hear the scissors wide post in. Yo-yo's the motion. That's going to be Cooper's going to come in motion, high motion, 2 scissor routes to the post.
Big third down play early in the game. Looking and finding. It's Wyatt still on his feet and stumbles down near the 10. Albany thought he had him out of bounds. Johnson on the coverage, and Antoine Wyatt stumbled down close to the 10-yard line.
See, Wyatt's part of the scissor route. You'll see the cross right in the middle of the field. That's your scissor route. Wyatt, the top guy or the deepest guy. Was the wide open one or the more open of the two, and Nagel went to him.
It was actually Stingley on the coverage that time for Albany. So now here comes Orlando trailing 20-14. Keep going back and forth to see how much Nagel can put on that missed extra point. Nagel, pump fake, going, finding, what a catch! What a catch! Barry Wagner has his second, and now he has 196.
The Eddie Brown, Barry Wagner show. It is panning out to be that. You know, Barry Wagner doesn't run a great route there. The good pump holds the secondary, but, I mean, body position, concentration, all of those things Barry Wagner does better than anybody in arena football. And then one-handed catches, especially with his left hand. Me as a right-handed player, so that's even more amazing.
Well, he had 3 touchdowns last week, 2 coming in the last 8 minutes of the game. All-time leading scorer. That's cool, and he missed it. Missed 2 last week. But Barry Wagner gets Orlando with the equalizer. Browning Nagel. He loves every second of it.
Oleander. Featuring the hit single, Why I'm Here. Oleander. The debut album, February Sun. Order now and receive a free Universal Rock sampler on CD.
Creative design excellence, technological advancement, space-age innovations, 21st century quality. It's the best in fitness, health, conditioning, toning, and muscle development. The Soloflex Muscle Machine. We've designed one for your body. Call now for a free brochure.
ESPN2's presentation of Arena Football is brought to you by Circuit City. Answers in every department, low prices all over the store. Live from Albany, New York. And so far, this has been a day. 20-20, 10 minutes to go in the first half. A week ago, Merrill, these two teams combined for 14 possessions without a score. And, of course, the defensive coach will tell you if they can stop a team once per quarter, you have a chance to win. 14 possessions last week without a score.
Well, that's a rarity in arena football, but you're right. Stops are very critical in arena football.
Cool. Bounces it off the bar. That's going to be very difficult. Goes out of bounds, so actually it backfires, and they'll have to start on the 20-yard line.
Now, you know, I actually think they'll get it on the 5-yard line because that was a good kick, and when it hits the ground, it wasn't the fault of any one team. It just bounced out of bounds, so they should go on the 5-yard line.
Good call. I stand corrected.
It'll be the first time and the last.
Both teams have scored every time they've touched the football. The complete antithesis of a week ago. Hopkins in motion. Hopkins with 9 school records. That's slippery rock. Pulowski going downfield, and it's almost picked off. Oh, that would have been a big turnover. Damon Mason on the coverage for Orlando that time.
Well, Mason doing a couple of things there. First of all, he's reading the receiver in his route, but also peeking to that quarterback because he drove in that ball, and he was the only one there. Johnson seemed to have either busted the route or was running. Well, I guess when you're going to run another route, you're busting the route, but he seemed to run something different. 49 tackles. This guy will show off around the football.
Pulowski comes back and saves. Wow, that was Van Johnson catching the ball and hitting the boards as he went out of bounds.
Receivers don't like the wall, man. I love the wall. I love the wall.
Yeah, sitting up here, you would.
I know, absolutely. You know, to be a good quarterback in this league, timing is important. You get rid of that football, and then to be a good receiver in this league, you have to have a lot of guts. And have to go catch the ball up against the wall. I mean, let alone the defenders are going to smack you, but when you know you're going to catch the ball nearly out of bounds and get whacked by the wall, mentally you have to be tough.
Twin receiver now trips with Brown in motion. Pulowski, Hopkins. Mason on the coverage. Mason goes over the board that time, and Hopkins is up there to 20.
Boy, the Orlando secondary did a super job of delaying the routes at the line of scrimmage, but Pulowski stood in there to the last second, looked right down the old gun barrel, and then you want to play quarterback, this is what you got to remember. Yeah, you throw touchdowns, you throw completions, but you also take a couple smacks now and then, and you don't even see the end result.
Share of hits. 7 touchdowns for Hopkins. He already has 1 here tonight. That makes 8 so far this summer. Over the middle, and it's complete. And that's Chris Snyder out of Penn State. Sliding over the middle. 6'3", 258-pound rookie for the Nittany Lions.
You can tell both teams are so involved in the receivers that they're forgetting the tight end right there. He sneaks out too. Remember, Orlando did this already. Albany saw a little bit of that and probably challenged the Orlando defense. Sometimes you forget that tight end. You see his hand up in the air. He's got to do that every time he comes out to signal he is the tight end and eligible.
He started all 13 games on the defensive line for the Nittany Lions last year, so got to enjoy catching a ball once in a while. Eddie Brown looking for touchdown number 3. He's going to be shy, but he's inside the 5. Awfully close to touchdown number 3.
Boy, that was a super read by Pulowski. Brown's just going to run a little hitch route here. He pulls up here. You see McIntyre back there? He was running a cover 2. Takes away Hopkins' deep route. Pulowski sees Brown underneath and gets him the ball versus forcing it down the field. And hey, if you got to dump it off, why not dump it off to Eddie Brown?
So Jay Gruden, watching the Firebirds now, threaten to score. This game is tied at 20 apiece. Eddie Brown was his 3rd straight scoring champion last year. This touchdown doesn't go to Brown. Easy toss to Van Johnson. That's his 7th touchdown this summer. As we told you at the top of the show, he had 9 catches for 107 yards and a couple of scoring strikes or scoring receptions a week ago. This was almost too easy, Mo.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 guys to pick from. You take the more wide open of the 2, which he did, which is Van Johnson.
You notice Damon Mason was up at the line of scrimmage.
And you know what? That's illegal. You know, what he was doing was guessing run, and he attacked run. When he threw the football, had that not been complete? I mean, I saw Pulaski go to an official. He went at a legitimate argument.
Silvestri drills it through again, and the Firebirds open up some breathing room this time. 2 extra points in the game, so they open up a 7-point lead at 27-20.
Got a new car with the red tail lights, like blue on the corner, there's hugging tight. Got a rag top and a contour hood, she goes up, yes, she's rocking me. Let's go!
The 1999 Mazda Miata. Set it free, and it'll return the favor.
ESPN Sports Century's 50 Greatest Athletes. His statistics spoke for themselves. Over 40,000 yards passing, 290 touchdowns, and 3 Player of the Year awards. But a former teammate described him best. What made him special was his uncanny instinct for calling the right play, his icy composure, his fierce competitiveness, and his utter disregard for his own safety. Sports Century athlete number 32, Johnny Unitas. Friday at 10:30 on ESPN. Presented by General Motors.
Orlando comes in averaging just under 52 points a game. Albany 54 points a game, and right now it's 27-20 with 5:41 to go in the first 30 minutes of football. Barry Wagner back to receive. Another kick by Don Silvestri. Boy, Silvestri really gets the leg. Good height on his kicks. Boy, Wagner had a hard time getting that one off the net. He tried to return it, so it will come out to the 5-yard line, but boy, he was swamped by orange jersey.
And really, in arena football, you have to stay. You can't go beyond the 5-yard line until the receiver has caught the ball. And I saw a lot of orange jerseys down in the end zone a little early.
Can't blame him, though.
Hey, you got Wagner. You better get down there and do everything to your advantage. You've got a
kicking team, illegal contact, number 10. 5-yard penalty. The 5, first and 13.
Well, Mr. Hodge, you nailed that one right on the head. Fennell Maynard, guilty of the infraction.
Yeah, arena football.
Check that.
The 5-yard line, you can't cross until the receiver catches the ball. And really, the height of that ball, Mike, you mentioned how high it was. See, number 10 right there has already crossed the 5-yard line before Barry caught the ball. And that's a penalty.
Wagner did a great job considering where that hit on the net. Didn't he? Just pulling it in. Dorsey had a big 45-yard touchdown run last week. Boy, look at it. Hard to get this guy down. And he finally goes down at about the 18th. And I think it took the entire Albany football team to take him down.
And there's only 9 guys on the field, and they almost needed 10 or 11. But that right there is a factor back. You got to get the ball into Dorsey's hands.
Are you trying to tell me something? They had 9 guys. Somebody snuck off the bench.
There's a potential of that. You look at Orlando, and they are a second-half team. They're 111 up there. 305 points come in the second quarter. They play well in the second quarter. And I tell you what, the way Dorsey just ran the block, give it to him again.
Ronnie Nagel, it's knocked again this time. It's knocked by John Crick out of Purdue, the third-year man.
Well, when you're not going to block a guy like Crick, you could pay the price. Orlando got lucky here, but he came in untouched. They were trying to get the ball to Dorsey via the pass, but Crick read it, realizes, you know what, I got to get my hands up and block this down. You see Dennis Fitzgerald,
old friend of yours,
coordinator, special team coach Russ in Pittsburgh. He's promised me 3 turnovers tonight for his grandchildren.
Well, they're putting a lot of pressure on Browning Nagel, no doubt about that, as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the first half. Nagel, Wyatt, complete, still on his feet at the midfield stripe and not backwards. That's Chris Lawson making the stop for Albany. Antoine Wyatt, if you recognize the name, he was scheduled to return kicks for the Philadelphia Eagles a couple of years ago and then blew out his knee.
Well, what I liked about that route right there was how he caught the ball with his hands. Boy, if he doesn't make that catch right there, it could have been 6 the other way.
Go now. Left. 24 draw. On two, ready?
61 yards. Here's a guy that can be explosive, though. He really could be effective for Orlando in the second part of the season.
Dorsey on the ground. Running room. Here goes Dorsey. Knocked out of bounds. They're going to call it back.
There's no out of bounds. How can you call out of bounds? I'm telling you, you got a man who has a motor, and you can tell he is on a mission tonight. I'd keep giving this young man the ball. Especially when you don't want to get into a running match, or I mean a point-scoring match, a track meet via the pass. Get the ball in this back-to-back's hands. Watch this right here on the sideline.
45-yard run last week, I think, was the right side, the short side of the field as well.
Yeah, it was the right side of the field. It's a good call. His big back-to-back's got a big foot.
Broke a couple of tackles last week, and Jay Gruden said his eyes were big as bowling balls. Nagel, Wagner at the 5, and he's dropped right there at the 5. So they're in the red zone with 2:24 to go.
You know, it's a nice drive by Orlando, but this is where it becomes so critical in arena football, or more difficult, should I say, to score. We already talked about the shortness of the field, the width is shortened. The way you can play defense now, really you would drop guys to the goal line, take a lot of the passing lanes away from the quarterback. That's why these linebackers could be involved down here on the red zone, and it's difficult to throw the ball.
Keep it on the ground again. They cough up the football. It's a live ball, and Browning Nagel jumps on it. Big play by the quarterback. Drops on it at the 12. Well, that could have been a big play.
Well, Dorsey's pointing to himself and said, my bad. Got the nice pitch. I took my head up to read what was going on. We'll see it right here. Dorsey, here comes the pitch. Boy, just didn't look it all the way in. Probably hit the top of his fingers. And then all the plays Browning Nagel may make tonight, this may be the biggest one right here. You don't want to turn the ball over when you have an opportunity for points, especially when you're behind right now.
Good hustle by number 7, Browning Nagel, especially considering he had a bum shoulder sitting on last week. Now it's second down. Ryan, straight down the field. They come back. Wagner lunges in. Touchdown, Orlando. Number 3 for Barry Wagner. So Wagner has 3. Eddie Brown has 2.
And I failed to mention this on the turnover. But really, anytime you back yourself up, now you can run these type of routes. If you're on the 5-yard line, you would not have been able to run that route if you're Orlando. You would have had defensive linebackers, you had linebackers and secondary people standing on the goal line. You would not have been able to run a slant route like that. So really, it turned out to be an advantage for Orlando, moving the ball back a little bit.
Over the last 3 weeks, 534 all-purpose yards for Mr. Wagner.
Hey, he's kind of having a big game tonight, too.
Well, he's only 3 shy of 200. That's 197 in his career receiving touchdowns. And Eddie Brown who has 2 himself, thought he could get to 6 in this game. And he might be right.
I wouldn't doubt if he could do it, too.
They might both might wind up with 200. Cool is just that on the kick. He drills it right down the middle. Exactly a minute to go. And now we are deadlocked again as Barry Wagner lunges into the end zone, 27 apiece.
Excuse me, if you can name everything on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu, you win a car. You win Dave's car.
Hey, I never agreed with that.
Big E fries. Nuggets.
Potato with no hands.
Chili.
Queen pie deluxe.
The only thing you have to remember is you can depend on Wendy's 99-cent super value menu every day.
Did we win? Did we win?
We got biggest drinks and we got biggest fries.
You won?
Wendy's 99-cent super value menu. You can count on us.
Can I give you a list something?
In the battle against athletes, but you gotta have boom. Tough Actin Tinactin. Now in a new pump spray. Nothing stops the itching, burning, and cracking like clinically proven Tinactin antifungal. They're so tough, they can even prevent athlete's foot. Get boom. Tough Actin Tinactin.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
They continue to trade touchdowns. Now tied up at 27 with 1 minute to go. Thank you so much. At least Merril rules.
I think you're going to get me sooner or later. 1 minute. You said 1 minute left. Now this, folks, if you haven't watched much of arena football, this minute you don't want to leave your seats for, because there could be as many as 3 scores in the next minute, because the clock does stop now. So plenty of opportunity for each one of these teams to get a touchdown or two.
Cool with the onside kick. Whoa, Mason recovers. It has to go 10 yards. He's at the 12. It looks like Orlando football. So Albany tries an onside kick. It backfires. Orlando comes back and it works.
Well, this game has been a mirror image of each other. Each other has tried an onside kick. Albany's failed. Orlando got the ball and was able to score a touchdown. When you kick it from a kicking standpoint, this is how you got to kick it. You got to at least get it 10 yards. And boy, you talk about perfect timing. It bounced right up at the 10-yard line, right into an Orlando player's hands. Now, you talked defensively, and you mentioned earlier about stops and turnovers. Here's where Albany needs a big stop.
So Jay Gruden pulling out the tricks. I thought David Cool did a nice job of disguising the onside kick. They keep it on the ground. It's Rick Hamilton. Rick Hamilton reverses his field up over the 15, close to the 18-yard line. Hamilton, of course, the Arena Bowl MVP. And it's time to lace him up again on ESPN as they drop the puck. Game 3. Coverage begins with a quest for the cup. The Stars and the Sabres, 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, go.com. 26 seconds to go. Nagel. The low throw is hot. No, it's not. It hit the ground. And the intended receiver was Connell Maynor, who was the third-string quarterback, but also plays some wide receiver and linebacker.
And DB, and I think he had stepped on the sideline and coach if he had to. I guess he does everything for him. Well, you look at the matchup with Wagner and Brown. Boy, about even Steven right now.
Good job, left.
Touchdowns, yards, everything. Very, 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 very equal.
5 receptions, 3 touchdowns, 4 for Brown, 2 for touchdowns. Combined 5 touchdowns in this game. Down to 20 seconds. Nagel. Wagner! A little bit too far. Barry Wagner wanted that one just through his fingertips. And it comes back to a lot of defense. Jones covering for Albany that time.
Well, this is the point of the first half where you're playing both ways. Barry Wagner's playing both ways. And hey, you may just be a little winded at this point. 4th down. Jay Gruden goes for 4th down as much as any coach in the league, but they're very successful at doing it. You see 83%. You got to have guts to do it, and I think you have to have a belief in your players, which he has both. Well, David's not very happy about something right now.
Well, Tools come on the field now. He had a rough week last week. Ball spotted, and here's the kick. Right down the middle. The ball was spotted on the 9. And David Cool grabs the momentum with 12 seconds to go now. David Cool last week, he missed 3 field goals, 2 extra points, but that one was a mile long.
Well, and I think it's a big play. You only get 3 points, but you got to remember you got that on an onside kick.
At the end of the game, we'll be selecting the Tenacton Ironman player of the game, and at the end of the season, Tenacton will be making a donation to the 1999 Special Olympics on behalf of the Ironman Player of the Year. Look at this. Barry Wagner 6 times. Stepped aside for Chad Dukes, but right now he's a front runner again in 1999. 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, 27 tackles. He really takes a lot of pride, too, in what he does on the defensive side of the ball.
And that's, I think, the thing that separates this league and what is special about this league is, you know, Barry Wagner has to be effective offensively, scoring touchdowns, but he also has to play defense, make stops, come up with critical tackles, important interceptions, and he does all of that for his team.
So the 47-yard field goal by David Cool puts Orlando on top by 3, 30-27. And now Cool ready to kick off. Jay Jones, the deep man for Albany. Good kick. High off the net, here comes Jay Jones to the far side. Good coverage that time by Orlando. And coming up at halftime, ESPN News takes over the airwaves, and here's some of the stories they'll be keeping you up to date on. Major League Baseball, interleague play, and the Orlando Magic as a new coach, and of course NFL news, all coming up on ESPN News at halftime of our game, which is only 10 seconds away.
And 10 seconds is plenty of time to score a touchdown.
43 yards away. Pulowski has his man. Oh, Hopkins had it, and he had a lot of green in front of him. And there's a classic case of running with a football before he actually had possession.
Woo. If you could read his mind right now,
let's do that one again, he's thinking, huh?
He would be saying,
hey, keep him up.
Nice job of Pulowski. I mean, going to what Orlando was going to give him, and that was Hopkins across the middle.
Let's go. First down, right?
You hear
Haley pulling his hair out after that one.
Well, you hear S go.
Pulowski, shorter pass, looking for Eddie Brown, and falls incomplete at the 15. So now the Firebirds will be facing a third down with just under 3 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I think with this point of the game, you're going to see a version of Hail Mary in arena football. We got to send everybody to the end zone and then.
All right, 70 fullback quick screen. First down, right?
Or check that, you just do a fullback quick screen. See if you can't make something happen.
Pulowski, a lot of pressure, spikes the ball, and the horn has not sounded. Good pressure that time by Kevin Johnson. Ball was snapped, and he was all over Pulowski. 3/10 of a second. Time to snap the ball and let one fly.
3/10 of a second.
I think you got to take the chance now. Take the shot down the field. You got nothing to lose. Unless you throw an interception, they return it for a touchdown.
You see the time left. Kevin Johnson putting on the pressure at 95. Played 11 games for the Philadelphia Eagles. Actually led the Eagles with 6 sacks that year. 3/10. Officially on the clock. Pulowski, last play, first half, and he has given somebody a souvenir. The 5th-year pro out of Berkeley, California, let that one fly. So we're going to take a timeout. We played 30 minutes of football. It's been an exciting 30 minutes. Don't forget, after the break, it's ESPN News. It's Orlando 30, Albany 27.
Today,
in the Atlantic Fleet,
on board USS Enterprise, character was forged. Valor was commended. Minds were enlightened. Lessons were learned. Fears were conquered. Worlds were discovered. Honor was defined. Courage was found. Commitment was sealed.
Today on board USS Enterprise,
over 5,000 journeys began anew.
What did you do?
What did you do today?
Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
These are the Schmidts of Munich. This is their new Porsche Boxster. In order to drive it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Mr. Schmidt has agreed to assume dog washing responsibilities. And Mrs. Schmidt, in return for Tuesday, Thursday, and the coveted Saturday, has to make Mr. Schmidt's favorite Finkelwurst 3 times a week. On Sundays, they share the Boxster. Of course, this leaves out young Dieter, who has just earned his driver's license. As in all domestic disputes, it's the children who suffer most. The Boxster. Once again, there is no substitute.
You're next, Pinky.
Never do it, Slim Jim.
Eat me.
Yay, the wife walked through the valley of death. I was in the week. I would down prepare the table. The presence of
From the worldwide leader in sports,
This is ESPN News.
And hi, everybody. Thanks for watching ESPN News alongside Kevin Cork. I'm Dave Feldman. We welcome all of you watching the Firebirds and the Predators on the Deuce. We'll get you back to arena football in just a bit, but we'll start with NFL football news out west.
Yeah, and surprising news for some, but not for everybody who knows the Chargers. If you follow football, you have probably heard by now that San Diego Chargers quarterback Ryan Leaf was the only Charger not to show up in the opening of the team's voluntary workout back on June 2nd. This, of course, on the heels of a horrendous season, which saw him benched at one point, and it also saw him turn in an NFL worst 39.0 quarterback rating. Hardly the kind of attention Leaf needed, especially with Jim Harbaugh now in the fold. And now here's a bit of a twist, perhaps to shake the perception that he doesn't care about football. Leaf now says he didn't mean to miss those workouts.
It was a commitment I had made. I regret that it happened. It's a miscommunication. I thought the coaches knew I wasn't going to be here. Coach Riley thought it was just going to be Friday, so it was just a miscommunication on both our part. The best way probably to apologize is just to go out there and work real, real hard. And not talk about it, just show them that you're dedicated. And it's tough to say when you're not there. You know, I was trying to please everybody.
More football news to tell you about. Antoine Edwards signed by the Green Bay Packers. He was their first-round draft choice. He was the 25th pick overall. By the way, he underwent surgery back in April to alleviate turf toe, but the Packers expect him in camp in July. Lawrence Phillips, meanwhile, is on track to become the first 1,000-yard rusher in the history of the NFL Europe. Of course, it's just a 10-game schedule. And as John Clayton tells us, those stats have piqued the interest of several NFL teams.
Lawrence Phillips is probably the hottest name to come out of NFL Europe maybe ever. Now, what that means is he may not get a starting job, but he's definitely going to get a chance to get back in the NFL. Oakland, Green Bay, and now Buffalo coming in at the last minute. Those are the three teams showing the most interest. Cleveland's being reserved. New England looking, but probably won't shop. But in the end, I think Oakland has the best chance to sign him because of the three teams that seem to be the most interested. They have the ability to come up and give him the opportunity as a big back to work in short yardage, work on passing downs, and also challenge Napoleon Kaufman for starting time.
John, thanks. And while we're talking about football, Dave, I want to remind everybody about the Sports Century. We are counting down the 50 greatest athletes of the Sports Century. We're at number 32, and it's Johnny Unitas. That's Friday night at 10:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Baseball news, the American League has suspended Tigers manager Larry Parrish and Tigers catcher Brad Osmus for 2 games each for their overly excessive arguing with umpire Chuck Merriweather in the May 31st game in Boston. Both Parrish and Osmus reportedly will appeal their suspension. Meanwhile, the Tigers hosting the Pirates, and Brad Osmus is playing. He's got an RBI ground out in the first. The Tigers lead the Pirates 5-3. They're in the bottom of the 7th. Kareem Garcia with a 2-run home run. It came in the 6th. The Blue Jays are playing the Mets 4-2 right now, bottom of the 5th inning. Benny Agbayani with a solo home run in the 4th. It's his 7th. Mets lead the Blue Jays 4-2.
More baseball to tell you about this half hour. The Bravos leading the Devil Rays 7-3 right now. John Smoltz going for his second victory since coming off the DL. And check this out. Feldy, he has a 3-run home run, if you can believe that. Royals, by the way, trailing the Redbirds 1-zip. Predators, 30-27 leaders. We're going to send you back out to the football game. Those of you on the news, we're coming right back.
We're born inside 4 walls.
We go to school inside 4 walls.
We work inside 4 walls.
Out here, there are no walls.
But there are plenty of sharp corners.
Yamaha, solid thinking for a liquid world.
Hi there, Michael Landrum here for Timex. Bringing you Timex's newest innovation, the Timex Turn and Pull Alarm Watch. Just turn the ring either way and pull the crown to set it for short or long-term reminders. Let's try setting it for 11 minutes. Just turn the ring and pull the crown. Next week, we'll discuss gum chewing. The Timex Turn and Pull Alarm Watch. So simple, we should have thought of it years ago. All he wants.
I've turned the moon into a death
star.
Rip off.
Bet you.
Is to rule the world.
Gonna cry, huh?
But someone keeps getting in the way.
Oh, look at me. I'm shaking my little space boots. Austin Powers always defeats me because
You're a big dope.
yes. All right, zip it.
Austin Powers, the spy who shagged me.
It's simple, bitch. Look, oh. Zip it.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
Two teams, one cup. Hockey's ultimate prize. Stanley Cup Finals. Stars, Sabres, Game 3. Saturday at 8. Only on ESPN.
The 50-yard indoor war definitely living up to its pregame billing. It's halftime in Albany, New York. The Predators by a field goal over the Firebirds, 30-27. Friday Night Fights heads down to the Speedway Club at Texas Motor Speedway on Friday night. The tradition of championship bouts and top-rated challengers continues with classic fight footage. Showcased this week a 10-round super bantamweight title bout between Johnny Romero and Enrique Jupiter. Plus the latest boxing news and information. That's Friday Night Fights, 9:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, go.com. Getting ready to roll into the second half from Albany. It's 30-27. Orlando looking for their second straight victory.
Stuart, can I see you in my office, please?
That kid is very sick. Give in, sir. Thank you, Mr. Finn.
Stuart, I just opened my Ameritrade account.
Let's light this candle. Go to Ameritrade.com. It's easier than calling it on. What do you feel like buying today, Mr. P?
Kmart.
So research it. All this stuff is provided for you free of charge.
No cost.
Yes, that's synonymous with free.
Looks like a good start.
Let's buy.
Let's buy 100 shares.
All right, click it in there. How about 500?
100, Stuart.
Feel the excitement you're about to buy.
Okay.
Oh!
Fabulous. I'm thrilled.
What did that cost?
$8, my man.
My broker charges me $200 to
Riding the wave of the future, my man. I can listen soda. I'm sorry, Mr. P. I'm having a party on Saturday night if you really want to go.
I'm going to try and get there.
Happy trading.
Thank you.
Rock on.
All right, Stuart.
Call toll-free 800-573-9914 or visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
A great tradition reborn on ESPN2. Friday Night Fights. The main event live. Danny Romero takes on Enrique Jupiter in a 10-round super bantamweight bout. Plus Butterbean. Friday Night Fights. Friday at 9:30 on ESPN2.
Three-point game from Albany. Predators 30-27. Lots of highlights. Let's take us through it, Merrill.
Well, Albany struck first, and they got the ball into their playmakers' hands early, and that's Eddie Brown. Down the field, big play, really opened this game up. And then after that touchdown, tried a little trickery, onside kick. Problem, it backfired. Wasn't long enough. Orlando came up with the ball, scored a touchdown off of that. Orlando also had their firepower. They got their big play guy involved. Barry Wagner, nice design of a play here, touchdown there. And then Orlando said, well, if you can do an onside kick, we can do an onside kick better. And it was better. Onside kick, they got the ball back, but they got 3 points out of that just before half. And that gives Orlando the 3-point lead.
And the first half stats brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Look at that, Merrill. 6.5 yards.
Almost identical.
Per play.
You look at that, first downs, yards, total yards, everything. The thing you don't see in those stats that you won't see on any stats is the onside kick that Albany failed with. That has really been the difference of this game. And it's right now a 3-point difference.
Like a turnover, right?
Well, it really is. I mean, it's not going to go down as a turnover, but anytime you kick the ball off and you don't come up with it, you give it to your opponent on the 8-yard line, that's just about as bad as a turnover.
Barry Wagner with 3 touchdown receptions in the first half, giving him 197 for the career. Oh, and he's going to be dragged down. This ball's coming back to the 5-yard line. But again, great kick coverage by the Firebirds.
Boy, timing was critical there. You can't cross the 5-yard line, and he didn't cross the 5-yard line, but you got to attempt to come out. That's why you'll get on the 5-yard line. Brownie Nagel.
Sat out last week. 4 touchdown passes in the first 30 minutes.
Here we go. Right Goro. 27 toss Z-Mac on 2. Ready?
Say 27 toss Z-Mac. That right there is a toss to the fullback, and they're going to come to the left with it.
Dorsey is the fullback. Dorsey up across the 10, drops it about the 12. Good Defensive stop by Chris Lawson. Top of the broadcast, we talked about the receiver matchup. Here's how the numbers are matching up here tonight.
They're matching up nicely if you're Wagner and Brown. I mean, this is what you want to do. And you got this game 3-point difference. Both guys have made big plays. Both teams have got the ball in their big play guys' hands. That's what this is all about. It's got to happen in the second half. But I really think the difference in this game, on this half, maybe who runs the ball better. And Orlando has a commitment to it, a passion to it well.
It's complete, and it's Antoine Wyatt. He's up over the 15. Good for a first down, probably the 17-yard line.
You know, we really haven't been able to chart all of the plays Orlando has done tonight, but Jay Gruden's done a nice job of play calling. Short, intermediate routes. You got a quarterback, Brownie Nagel, coming off the shoulder separation on the throwing arm. He's doing a nice job of short routes and then running the ball.
Left, 32 stack, first down, ready?
Now 32 stack means 30 is the three-step, 2 is the protection, but all the receivers are going to just run little stack routes, about 6-8 yards.
And it's incomplete. Brett Cooper, the intended receiver, just over the 20, and it shot right through his fingertips into the crowd.
Hey, I can't blame Cooper on that one. That was a heat-seeking missile. I think Nagel is trying to say, hey, listen, my arm's fine, my shoulder's warmed up, let's go down the field.
Well, Wagner has 3 touchdowns. Cooper.
Hold him out now. Left rocket yo-yo. 59 stack, X post on 2. Ready?
All right, 59 stack. That's a 5-step drop. Everybody's going to do a stack, but X post. That's Barry Wagner.
Lots of time going down the middle. Barry Wagner overshoots him inside the 5. Well, that would have been his 4th touchdown. He had 3 scoring receptions last week, 6 for 123 yards. He's got 3 in the first half.
Well, he had it. But usually when you overthrow somebody or even underthrow somebody, pressure. And you can see Brownie Nagel has to go off his back foot. And really in arena football, you can't always be able to fall through. But when you can't fall through and you got to go down the field, boy, it makes it difficult on your quarterback to be accurate.
Brownie Nagel came into the game 54%. With 4 interceptions, 22 touchdowns, had 4 in the first half. Scoring strikes, that is. He calls for the timeout. So we're going to take a timeout here from Albany, New York. 11:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. No scoring yet here in the 3rd. 30-27. The Predators holding on to the 3-point lead over Albany.
At Circuit City, we have everything you need for your computer.
Software and hardware, printers, high-speed modems, memory, or you can design your own system.
Right now at Circuit City, get rebates from $500 to $300 on great top brands throughout the store. Save $250 on this compact computer with 15-inch monitor and color printer, now just $729.99 after rebates. Don't miss the savings in every department right now at Circuit City.
The X Games. The only extreme event that matters. The X Games, June 27th to July 5th. Presented by Taco Bell.
He's a smooth ladies man with one thing on his mind. He's a nacho-loving spoon. Don't stand between the man and his chicken. Oh, yeah, funkalicious.
Right now, grilled chicken nachos Bel Grande are just one of the great new ways you two can love chicken at Taco Bell.
Chicken nachos.
ESPN2's presentation of Arena Football is brought to you by Canon. So advanced, it's simple. And there's the score, 30-27. They've made the scoring look simple here from Albany tonight. Brownie Nagel working with a 3rd and 10 situation. Down the middle, Antoine Wyatt is upended and he dropped the football. It looked like a completion, but the official saying it's incomplete. Boy, that was close, Merrill. It looked like a completed pass and a fumble.
Albany's best cover guy is Stingley. And I cannot blame Wyatt. Nice job, got the ball there, but boy, when you get your legs taken out from under you and the first part of your body that lands is your head, it's difficult to always keep that body all the way, falling all the way into your body. Boy, he tried. I'll tell you what, all that torque and motion, tough to bring that ball in.
Well, David Kuhl on the field to kick again. He already has a 47-yard field goal. This time the ball will be spotted at the 8. 3-point lead for Orlando. This would be a second three-pointer if he nails it. The kick is definitely long enough, and it's off to the right. So Johnson will return it off the net. Penalty flag inside the 5, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 7. But the penalty flag dropped as soon as he got possession of the football, playing it off the net.
And I think Barry Wagner, it doesn't just count on kickoffs, but extra points too, or field goals. You can't cross the 5-yard line. You got to give the receiver an opportunity to catch the ball before you cross it.
Interference, number 42 of the kicking team violated the 5-yard line. 3-yard penalty, additional first down.
So Albany will be working just across the 10, just shy of the 11-yard line. Jay Gruden, former quarterback in this league, 70 touchdowns in 1996, 52 postseason touchdowns. Pawlowski's numbers, 4 touchdowns. Tonight, so he and Ronnie Nagel equal 4 scoring strikes. Pawlowski, straight drop, pump fake, going deep, a little traffic, and an interference call against, I believe he's going to go against Barry Wagner. On the far side of the field, he was covering Van Johnson on the play.
Oh, yeah. You talk about going fishing, throwing that bait out there, and then having that big fish come by and bite on it. Barry Wagner bit all over that hitch and go, that pump route.
Illegal contact, number 32, 3-yard penalty, automatic first down.
But I will say this. You look at the top left corner of your screen. Watch Barry Wagner up here. I mean, he reads the quarterback, he goes for the little short route, and obviously it's pass interference, but hey, if Barry Wagner does not make this pass interference, that's going to be a touchdown. Boy, quarterbacks, I mean, they take some serious hits. They don't get to protect themselves. It's usually down around the legs.
Those guys can hurt. They hit from the blind side. Good coverage by David Mason. The intended receiver was Johnson over the 15, and Mason, he was on him like a blanket.
Yeah, you know what, Mason, I'll tell you, he covers better than he plays pool. I saw him at the hotel, and he was telling me what a great pool player he was. Every time I walked by, he was always sitting out because somebody had beat him. But as far as covering people tonight, he's done a great job. Boy, reading the quarterback, seeing the receiver, and then playing them both.
Defensive player of the year, up for grabs. Look at Stingley, Mason, McIntyre, all on this football field here tonight.
Well, the arenafootball.com, McIntyre is leading the league right now as far as votes go for defensive player of the year.
Yellow laundry all over the field. Penalty flag down. We'll stop play once again. 9:39, 30-27.
Contact in the neutral zone by the defense, number 73.
Neutral zone. Goes against Kent Wells, the 7-year man out of Nebraska. He was the lineman of the year in this league back in '96.
Back to the defensive player of the year. McIntyre, like I said, is leading in on the internet, arenafootball.com as far as the fans go.
Screen pass over the middle. Johnson almost covered by Wagner. Stays on his feet. Kent Wells finally drags him down, but not before he gets inside the 20.
Mike, I was wondering when we were going to see this play. It's a nice quick screen, but you could tell Orlando has worked on this. Left to your screen, they run a little quick screen. The fullback comes out there, tries to get a block on Wagner. Wagner does a nice job of avoiding that and at least holding Johnson up enough for other players to come up there and make the catch.
And Pawlowski really paying the price as they move the chains. Dorsey all of them that time. First down, ball inside the 20. Brown turned, got upfield before he had possession of the football. He had David Mason beat, but the football drops incomplete.
And he was signaling to Pawlowski to throw the ball. I don't know where he was signaling to because that was a nice throw. Eddie really should have came down with the ball. You look at last week, I think Eddie's playing much better tonight than he played last week. That's something he wanted to do. Talking to him on the phone, that was, something. He's very disappointed. He felt like he let his teammates down tonight. tonight. He wants to have a big game to help his team win.
All good athletes have that pride factor. Pulowski over the middle. It's Johnson. Wagner on the coverage, just shy of the 10 and shy of the first down. Wagner was with him step for step, but Pulowski put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, this is where you got to have your receiver go up and make a play for you. And Wagner was all over Johnson, but his body is between Wagner and the quarterback, and when you do that, then it's the quarterback's responsibility to put that ball where only Johnson can go get it.
Johnson in motion. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's tripped up near the 5. The flag, that was Leroy Thompson, the 4-year man out of Delaware State, doing a nice job of keeping his balance, and the penalty flag will go against the Firebirds of Albany. And that's Damon Mason down on the field, grimacing in pain. That would be a big, big loss.
Really, anybody gets hurt, you're right, Mike, it can be a big loss because there's not a lot of depth when it comes to arena football. You're playing both sides.
8-yard penalty, repeat third down.
Penalty goes against John Summerday, rookie out of Temple, but Mason, we already established the fact that he came in with 49 tackles, tied with Stingley for the #1 spot in the AFL. He had 7 tackles last week in the victory.
Watch the lower left corner here, right down here. See if we can see what happens to him. Well, I'm telling you this. You take a knee on the helmet, sometimes that could be the most critical hit to the head. Well, I've seen more players get knocked out from that and get the eggs scrambled just a little bit from those type of hits to the head.
And Thompson definitely had the momentum going forward, and Thompson goes 260 pounds.
Yeah, you can tell they're checking the extremities up there.
It's 260 versus 175 for Damon Mason. Well, it's the time when the calendar points towards the U.S. Open Golf Championship. Lee Jansen on hand to defend his title. ESPN takes you to the Pinehurst Resort and Country Club in Pinehurst, North Carolina. June 17th and 18th, starting at 11 in the morning Eastern Time and coming back at 5 in the afternoon. The U.S. Open on ESPN. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, Go.com. We're in Albany, New York, 30-27. Damon Mason looks like he's going to be okay. Took a knee to the head by 260-pound Leroy Thompson. And they're probably asking Damon what day of the week it is down there. Orlando and Albany. From Pepsi Arena in Albany, New York. Both teams 4-2.
Now that may be the most important graphic tonight. That tells you who's who. No. That's the most important right there. That tells you who's who. And Mike Gleason.
And my name is Mike Gleason. We're happy to have you aboard on ESPN2. It's been a great football game, but defense took over last week, and defense is taking over here in the second half. 30-27 at halftime, and it remains 30-27, favoring the Predators. Third down, 3rd and 10 for Pulowski and the Firebirds. Eddie Brown in motion at the bottom of your screen. Pulowski looking for Eddie Brown. Complete at the 5, and he's driven out of bounds into the boards by Kenny McIntyre. Eddie Brown with 2 touchdown receptions compared to Wagner's 3. Both trying to get to 200.
And here's our matchup again. Eddie Brown, McIntyre. McIntyre, the reason you don't see him in the screen for so long is he doesn't want to let Eddie break down that cushion, because Eddie does such a nice job once he gets on top of a defender in making a quick break that he creates such good separation. McIntyre wants to keep him in front of him, be able to make the tackle once Eddie has caught the ball.
Brown, the league MVP in 94, the offensive player of the year in 96. He's in motion again. Pulowski. Flush from the pocket. McKenzie putting the pressure on, and Pulowski throws it out of bounds.
If I was a fan, I'd come to the Albany game, because you get a lot of balls in the stand, and you got to keep those. You see that fan? He knows. I got to keep that.
That's probably a $50 football.
You know, really, this is just great coverage. Orlando, there's nobody open. Pulowski just keeps kind of biding time until eventually he's got to get rid of it. You see Hopkins covered. Nowhere to throw it. You got to throw it up in the stand. And everybody else for that fact was really covered too.
Kevin Gaines on the coverage. Second-year man out of Louisville. So now, second down. Again, it's Eddie Brown in motion. Top of your screen. Brown with the ball at the 5-4-3-2. No, he's to the 1, and he is banged out of bounds hard by number 32, Tommy Dorsey.
You know, and Eddie was making some movement there. I mean, he looked like he wanted to get in there. And somebody came and put an exclamation point on that one, and that was Dorsey. No, you don't, little man. You ain't going any further. That guy's an intense football player right there. I like the way he runs the ball. Boy, you get the ball in his hand, both him and Hamilton. They make you pay, not only when they got the ball, but when they don't have the ball. They'll come up and hit you.
Then Hamilton, Dorsey, and they have Jeff Cochran.
Johnson! Shy. Touchdown! Van Johnson, his 7th touchdown. The rookie out of Temple, all Big East. Just last year for the Temple Owls, takes it in for the go-ahead touchdown.
Well, Pulowski went wide, the quarterback. Van Johnson, the wide receiver, comes under the quarterback. And really, if you're going to run the football, I mean, eliminate the middleman. Put the quarterback out wide. If Van Johnson's the guy who wants the ball in his hands, take the snap from him. Good call. Good job by Mike Daly.
Kevin Gaines was there, but the momentum took him in as Silvestri. That's another PAT. Now 4:27 to go. The Firebirds back on top thanks to Van Johnson keeping it on the ground. Albany by 4.
I love working here. It's exciting, feeling like we're changing things for the better. At Zurich Direct, there are no surprises. You call us and we give you a free quote on high-quality term life insurance with no strings attached. And these rates are up to 70% less than what some other insurers charge. I mean, why pay more than you have to?
Hi, thank you for calling Zurich Direct. Wendy, how may I help you?
It really is simple.
Well, Miss McMahon, you're 42 in good health and you don't smoke? That's great. A 10-year, $250,000 policy is just $23 a month, and your rate is guaranteed.
Everybody has questions when they call in. They want to know they're doing business with the right company. You'd be amazed how many letters we get from people just saying thanks.
Well, you can choose a 5, 10, 15, or...
Coverage can start in just a few
Sure, I
weeks.
can help you with that.
Absolutely. I think everyone should call Zurich Direct. But then again, I'm probably a little partial.
Call 1-888-561-LIFE. Zurich Direct, a unit of Zurich Kemper Life.
Back at Albany, and the Firebirds back on top by 4, 34-30. Van Johnson threw a 42-yard touchdown strike a week ago. This time he takes it in on the ground. And it's a 6-minute drive, and in this game, that is a long time.
It's a very long time. You look at Pulowski and his numbers, 4 of 7 for 40 yards on that particular drive. You know, you're never going to eliminate the opponent getting on the field. They're still going to get on the field. But what you can do with long drive, controlling the ball, is eliminate maybe a possession or two. But the other team's going to have its chances. Maybe eliminate them a couple times if you have long drives.
Well, look at the leg that time by Silvestri. Wagner, not too much room. Oh, what a hit in the end zone. Montrell Williams out of Idaho. He's a rookie. And he earned his paycheck right there. Boy, poor Barry Wagner was so high off the net, he just turned and bam.
Hello. Well, Montrell, those kids from Idaho come up and hit you now. You don't want to mess with kids from Idaho. Barry's like, oh, no. Too late to make a move.
There was a penalty on the play.
Well, you know what? They got Montrell for crossing the line too early.
Jeez, that's the 3rd time we've seen that here.
Yeah. I think Montrell will take that, though. Barry Wagner.
Flat on 2, ready?
Now the juices are flowing on the kickoff kick coverage teams, and I would have a hard time containing myself.
59's a 5-step drop. We got the fullback going in the flat. There he is, Rick Hamilton.
Quick first down for Orlando as Rick Hamilton hauls it in.
You heard Brownie go, oh no. I think he rolled right up on that shoulder.
That had to hurt.
Yeah, that might do it. Let's watch and see how he rolls up on that shoulder. Gets rid of the ball. Remember his throwing shoulder. You get that elbow caught on that turf and that jams it up in the shoulder. You've already got a slight separation there anyway that hasn't completely healed. Browning comes out, Pat O'Hara in.
O'Hara comes in. He was 9 of 20 last week in the victory for 187 yards and 4 touchdowns.
And for people that don't know, though, Pat O'Hara was the quarterback last year that led Albany to the Arena Bowl championship, so a very capable starter. I hate to even say backup because he is capable to be a starter. I tell you what, you know, sometimes when you do that, sometimes it scares you. to be honest with you, you could be more scared than if you re-injured it. You know, you get scar tissue up in there, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Brownie, but sometimes you come to the sideline, a little time goes by and it's okay. Or, in the worst case scenario, you've re-injured what you've already heard coming in.
Jay Gruden, one of the best all-time quarterbacks in this league, and you think of Orlando, you think of Ben Bennett. From 92 to 95, Ben Bennett threw 162 touchdown passes. But listen to this, Merrill. O'Hara now has 158, and he's done it in 44 games. Bennett 54 games. So Pat O'Hara out of USC definitely has put up some impressive numbers. Even though percentage-wise, game in and game out, they might not be the best. They keep it on the ground early. And Rick Hamilton powers his way up towards the midfield stripe.
That's a good way to get your quarterback involved in it. Give it to those fullbacks. This big running game going. Hamilton and Dorsey have done a nice job tonight. And anytime we talk about the backs and how well they're running, and sometimes we tend to forget the offensive line, they've done a nice job up front of creating cracks, creating seams, and those backs finding it and then stroking it up in there.
That mother.
Well, O'Hara, the fifth-year man out of USC. Getting 52% of his passes this year, which is low by his standards, I'm sure. Hamilton dives over the marker to pick up the first down for the Predators. So Pat O'Hara comes in, and they pick up 2 first downs on back-to-back plays, and it's number 42, Rick Hamilton.
Top of the game, Mike, we talked about being physical. Now, we saw Hopkins get real physical, scored the first touchdown for Albany. Now I think you're starting to see Orlando get physical on the line of scrimmage. Their offensive line is now controlling Albany's defensive line. You see how they run the ball. I mean, they're effective. They're committed to it. They do it well.
10 yards under their average. O'Hara looking downfield. He has Cooper at the 10. Cooper's at the 5. And Cooper's going down at about the 3. So Pat O'Hara moving those chains. And now Orlando down by 4. They're threatening.
I don't want to beat this into the ground, but your running game has helped this. I mean, you run the football, then you get that secondary a little asleep. You lose that crossing route, that underneath route's wide open. But now you're in the toughest part of the field, in my opinion, offensively, if you're going to score.
Cooper only 2 catches last week for 36 yards. O'Hara, 4 touchdown passes, 4 of his 9 completions went for scores. Hamilton on the ground, the big guy. Runs into a wall at about the 2. And it'll be second and goal at the 2.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. You get down here, quickest way from A to B is a straight line. And I like plays that are direct hitting plays. If you don't have a lot of fancy stuff in the backfield, get the ball in the back's hands, let him make a decision, get a seam, get a crack, and then stroke it up in there. Fritz, defensive coordinator there, he's just praying for a stop here.
And Fritz, the former MVP for the Michigan Wolverines. Broken play, O'Hara. Lose a couple of yards on the play. Only back to the 4. Dennis Fitzgerald.
This is what you call a busted play. And I really got to believe that's O'Hara's fault. I look at the offensive line. Everybody's going to the right. Fullback's going to the right. O'Hara's thinking left, though. No. Not on my side, you know. Especially with the quarterback.
Former Big Ten star right there out of Purdue. We talked about Fitzgerald playing at Michigan back in 1960. Now, the Predators facing 3rd and goal. Ball at the 4. They trail. O'Hara. And the penalty flag. The ball falls incomplete. Williams covering Barry Wagner, but again, the penalty flag down.
Pass interference, defense, number 10, half the distance.
That's a big call.
So the rookie out of Idaho made the big play on the kick coverage. That time he's flagged for pass interference.
Yeah, it's tough to see at the top of the screen there, but you know, you do have an area in which you can get physical as far as the defender goes, and I'm not so sure if Barry Wagner was out of that 5-yard area.
So Mike Daly was watching his team face a possible 4th down. We take a look at Your old buddy, former Pittsburgh Steelers coach, who was also a Big Ten wrestling champion at Michigan. During his stardom with the Wolverines. And there's the gun ending the third quarter of play. Orlando, instead of facing a fourth down and goal, they have a first down. 34-30. We've seen some big hits here from Albany, New York tonight. And there's one of them right there.
What a shot. How'd you do it?
With the Elf, there's nothing to it. The Elf 370Z is full of surprises, like a 3-time zoom and 3 picture sizes. Have you seen all the Elf?
What a shot. Okay.
Goes where you want it.
Stays where you put it.
The flexible shower massage from Teledyne Waterpick.
Shift into summer and get terrific deals during Sears Summer Tire and Wheel Sale. With thousands of tires in stock, we've got the tire for whatever you drive. Save big on top brands like Michelin, Bridgestone, and Goodyear. Get our best-selling touring tire, the Response RST Touring 2000, for as low as $39.99. And Sears' low price guarantee for tires means we'll match anyone's advertised price. Great tires, low prices at Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
Every one of Circuit City's camcorders comes with a guaranteed low price and something extra. Real customer service.
If you have any questions, I'm here to help.
Right now at Circuit City, get rebates from $500 to $300 on great top brands throughout the store. Like this Panasonic compact VHS camcorder with image stabilization for jitter-free recording. Now only $599.99 before rebate. Don't miss the savings in every department. Right now at Circuit City.
I will lose myself in the sound of the engine and watch the white lines on the road shoot by me like a million comets.
A week ago, these two teams went right down to the wire, and we're heading down the stretch right now. 34-30 Firebirds.
Mike, some of the keys to the game we talked about earlier, turnovers, both teams have been perfect. Big plays, they're big play guys. Wagner, Brown, both have had big nights so far. Rushing, Orlando has outrushed Albany as far as attempts go, but not really the yardage go. Thus, that's why we got a score like we got, 30-34. These guys are playing, these teams are playing pretty even across the board. And I think the turnovers, will probably be the difference in this game. Somewhere, somebody's going to have to create a turnover or a stop in order to win this game.
As they usually are, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, in this game, it's really like that.
Well, you mentioned the effectiveness of Orlando's running game. Under Gruden, they're 11-1 when they passed 29 or fewer times. 5-6 when they passed 30 or more. First and goal now for Pat O'Hara. They keep it on the ground, and it's going to be shot. Handoff went to Barry Wagner, who was trying for his 4th touchdown of the night. He stopped at about the 1.
We talked about the quickest way from A to B is a straight line. That's even though it's Barry Wagner getting the ball, that's designed to attack straight down the field. Even though it's a running play, it's straight ahead.
So second and goal. Remember, the pass interference gave Orlando the first and goal. Fumble snap. Whoa. This could be one of those turnovers you just spoke of. The ball on the 1. That exchange between the center and the quarterback, and looks like Orlando recovers, however, but again, they're facing a 3rd and goal situation.
You know, as a quarterback under the center, when you got a receiver in high motion coming at the line of scrimmage quick, boy, you like to get out of there quick, and Pat O'Hara just comes out of there. Well, I'll tell you this, the center quarterback didn't really ride the center out of there, and I don't know if the center got the ball all the way up to Pat. I don't think I can blame Pat O'Hara there. The center didn't get the ball all the way to the top.
Dorsey, he's going to be stopped. Penalty flag down. Hopkins comes up to make the stop. Hopkins has played well on both sides of the football. Penalty flag down, but it's going to be a 4th down possibly for Orlando.
Boy, A big decision for Jay Gruden, one, but Hopkins, what a play. To come in there and make a play, tackle on Dorsey like that, who's a big back, tough to tackle, but he did it right. Good form, gets down around the legs, and he brings his arms. You watch Hopkins right there. You look at how he reads this. Scrapes, leads with the head, outside, plays used to his shoulder, and then brings his hands.
34 to 30.
Nice head position there. Didn't lead with the head, led with the shoulders, but put the head out in front.
Hopkins, the Division II All-American, 3 straight years at Slippery Rock. David Kuhl already has 1 field goal. This one will be spotted at about the 11. It'll be a 19-yard kick. Should be a walk in the park for Kuhl. And it's right down the middle. So Orlando, they failed to get the touchdown, but they add 3 more on the board. So there's 13:15 to go. And Jay Gruden's Predators now trail by 1 point, 34-33.
Ice Sport. Ascend to exhilaration from Aquavelva. Now available in your skin conditioning gel.
It is one of the most powerful warships, with satellite communications, radar and propulsion systems that are the most advanced in the world. But USS Mitchell cannot do a single thing without you. Because the most important part of USS Mitchell is her crew of over 250 sailors who every day embark on a journey of honor, of courage, and of commitment. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
Don't try this with Gojo or Fast Orange. Only new Castrol Super Clean Hand Cleaner removes dirt and grease without water and without towel. Maybe those other cleaners should throw in the towel. New Super Clean Hand Cleaner.
He's suave. He's debonair. He's on the cover of GQ.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Pick up the June comic issue of GQ featuring the awesome powers of Mike Myers and 88 pages of mirth, merriment, and abject hilarity. To get to the laughs, get to a newsstand today or call 1-800-971-0088 to subscribe.
Crazy, baby, yeah!
ESPN2's presentation of Arena Football is brought to you by Naya Pure Spring Water. Hungry for life, thirsty for Naya. And by the U.S. Navy. Let the journey begin. 34-33, 13 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Mike Daly doing some pacing over on the Albany sidelines. And it's going to be interesting to see. Next time Orlando gets the football, the quarterback will be Browning Nagel or Pat O'Hara. Cooley ready to kick after the field goal. This one is a low line drive, bounces off the net. Jones has a hard time picking it up. Remember, that's a live football, penalty flag down. Way back here at the 9.
Now, Orlando was a million miles offside. That's not even close here.
Number 73 of the kicking team was offside. Penalties at 4th from the 5. First down.
You talk about a miscue. Oh, now wait till you see this. Now, the guys can't cross the line until the ball's been kicked. How hard was it on the official there to make that call? It took him a while to pull a flag out because he's like, did I just see 5 guys just go down the field for the kick?
3-yard penalty puts it out to the 8. McKenzie almost jumped. I think he's going to get called for jumping. Pulowski going deep downfield. Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown. It's complete. He's down to the 9. Dropped by Mason, but boy, it's going to be an interesting call to see if this goes against Orlando. They will decline.
I think McIntyre did jump offside, and good job by Pulowski to understand, listen, I got a free play. If I throw an interception, I still get the ball back. I got a penalty on my side. He did a nice job with his cadence to get him off, then the awareness to know I got a free play, see the flag, go down the field.
On the defense, the end was too wide. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Now you see the end zone. The jump's going to come right here to the right of your screen. Pulowski on the left of his eye has seen that. Now he gets back. He knows. Let's go down the field with it. Doesn't matter. It's a free play for the offense.
Well, Pulowski, the former Pac-10 Player of the Year. Leads the league 2 straight years. Passing rate 69% in 97, 65% last year. Now, it's inside the 10. Pulowski, straight drop, looking, and overshooting Eddie Brown in the end zone.
Out of bounds, the attempt to Eddie Brown. That man is just going over the football and also just with an all-star wide
So you look at Pulowski, classic case of someone getting the reps, getting a chance. He used to back up, and it didn't take him long to establish himself as one of the top starters to go back in the huddle.
Strong left, H blue, 50 IO, H corner. All right.
All right, the motion guy is going to be the H guy. And that's going to be Hopkins. They're going to try to go to the corner with it.
Pulowski, got him! Hopkins, his second. His 9th of the season. Second of the game, 3rd in the last 2 weeks.
Boy, nice job by Hopkins to get physical again. Now, he ran the post previously. He came back with the corner. Mason was really trying to play that post route. They set him up prior to that. Pulowski, you think he's excited and happy?
Yeah. So Hopkins' second touchdown makes it 40-33. Silvestri comes in with his big left foot, and he makes it 41-33. Time is of the essence. 11 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the ball game. There's the numbers. Firebirds 41-33.
Welcome to Target Talk. Cindy Cameron here, talking to Toolman Mike about the incredible new Pocket Pro.
Cindy, incredible is right. This handy little tool is a screwdriver, wrench, socket driver, and a hammer. It's 4 tools in one.
Let's take a call. You're on.
Hey, Mike, Pocket Pro is my favorite tool. I use it at home, at work, on my car, even on camping trips.
You can use the Pocket Pro for hundreds of jobs. The multi-angle adjustable wrench replaces 23 wrenches. Flip the adjustable wrench section, and you've got a rugged steel hammer.
And the Pocket Pro is only $19.99, exclusively from Target.
It's 4 tools in one. It's a wrench, a hammer, a screwdriver, and a socket driver. The hammer works as a T-bar handle for maximum torque. The bits store right inside the handle, and everything fits in the nylon carrying case. It's a great gift idea from Target for only $19.99.
Here's how to get yours.
To order, call 1-800-471-8877. That's 1-800-471-8877. Call now.
41-33 Albany over Orlando. And the weekly event that counts down the top 50 North American athletes of the past century continues Friday night on ESPN. A look back at Johnny U, once cut by Merril Hoge's Pittsburgh Steelers, sent to the fields of semi-pro football. He resurfaced with the Baltimore Colts to throw 290 touchdowns, including an NFL record 47 straight games with a scoring strike, a record that may not fall. Hall of Famer Johnny Goodhines showcased Friday night on ESPN, 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. Boy, Johnny U, I remember some of the battles he had with Bart Starr and the Green Bay Packers in the days of yesteryear. Don Silvestri, speaking of Pittsburgh, he's a former Panther. And he's ready to boot this football. And, of course, number 82, Barry Wagner. He's more than happy to return it. This one, off the net again. He drops the football. Good coverage again. Hopkins is downfield. And Wagner gets across the 5, possibly the 6. And a lot of orange jerseys down there. Boy, Albany's been very, very aggressive on their coverage team.
Now, well, they've contained Barry Wagner tonight as far as not letting him get started on the kickoff return. They've been down there quick. And really, that's the result of the kicker getting a lot of velocity hang time. You see Brownie Nagel back in the lineup.
Zoom the left trips inside. 32 short storm Z hits on one. Ready? Let's go. Aggressive.
32, 3-step, zoom hitches for short intermediate routes.
Nagel told us in the hotel earlier he wasn't going to step aside. He doesn't want to give up that starting job as Brett Cooper stumbles out near the 20. So Nagel sits out that series. Pat O'Hara led him to a field goal, and Nagel's back on the field. 6 years in the National National Football League, Nagel. Boy, he's also a singer. Did you know that? He has sung the national anthem at several sporting events.
I did not. Brown him have cut me a cord or two.
Penalty flags down, straight drop. Nagel looks one way, comes back the other. Incomplete to Cooper near the midfield stripe, but again, penalty flags all over the field.
Two offensive fouls, no tight end declared, and an offensive hold on 69. The holding will be accepted. Repeat the down.
All right, the offensive comparison, Merrill.
Not very efficient. You remember the first half, I mean, almost every time Orlando had the ball, they scored touchdowns. Albany has kept up to that pace. But Orlando settling for field goals.
Left rocket yo-yo. 59 stack X post on 2. Ready?
All right, now Barry Wagner is going to be the yo-yo guy, and that means motion. Excuse me, the wide receiver will do that Barry to the post.
Nagel, lots of pressure, and that's going to be a touchdown, unless they're going to rule an incomplete pass. Chris Snyder picked that one up. Snyder out of Penn State. I think it should be a touchdown, and it is. Lots of pressure on Nagel. He tried to avoid the rush, and he coughed up the football, and number 54, Chris Snyder, was right there to oblige.
Well, when you got to come up with pressure and a big play, Albany does it right here. And boy, the ball just slips out of Nagel's hand as he tried to get rid of it. A costly error.
It was Joe Jacobs who had 8 sacks last year, all draped all over Browning Nagel.
You know, Orlando has had problems with their offensive line protecting. They've done an outstanding job through the course of this game, Mike, for the entire game, other than this drive. They really broke down, and they broke down at a critical time when you really needed time, because you're going down the field, and it was a 5-step drop.
A week ago, Albany with 2 crucial fourth quarter turnovers, and Orlando won it 45-38, and now they're returning the favor. Turnovers, costly against the Predators. Silvestri drills it through. Under 9 minutes to go before they put this game in the history books. It's now Albany on top 48-33 over Orlando.
Can I get a bite of that Subway football sandwich?
No.
Okay.
Big appetite? Go to Subway. Our footlongs are meals in themselves. They're bigger than any burger. Subway, the way a really big sandwich should be.
In a battle against athletes, but you gotta have boom. Tough-actin Tinactin. Now in a new pump spray. Nothing stops the itching, burning, and cracking like clinically proven Tinactin antifungals. They're so tough, they can even prevent athlete's foot. Get boom. Tough-actin Tinactin.
Before it cracks. Before it peels. Before it stings. Before it mildews. Always use Zinsser first to prevent trouble before it has a chance to start. Zinsser. Primers, finishes, wall-covering products, and mildew-proof paints. So never ever start without Zinsser first.
No doubt, I'm not sure if you've been indoctrinated to Arena Football Live, that is, but the fans that come out to these games have a whale of a time.
A good time for all. Except Brownie Nagel and the Orlando Predators right now.
Well, they got to go to work now. 8:57 to go. It's 48-33. Obviously, plenty of time on the clock. The momentum has definitely shifted towards Albany, and they could definitely use a big play out of Barry Wagner right now. Wow, he really got his leg into this one. Silvestri over the net, into the stands, and Barry Wagner won't even get a chance to return that one. He did that twice last week. Silvestri, he's got a strong left leg. Hey, that fan, he couldn't believe it landed way back there. Brownie Nagel talking to Jake Gruden, coming back on the field, 8:57 to work with.
Get the ball up now. Right Goro, 59 bench on 2. Ready?
5-step drop. It's going to be a deep out route, intermediate route here, but it's a 5-step drop. You want the center to get the ball up to him. so he can get back out from under him.
Nagel. Four-time Cooper. Complete at the 20. Lawson drives him out of bounds. First down for Orlando. Brett Cooper coming in with 9 touchdowns. Nagel conferring once again with Jake Root.
Right flex up, down, inside. Yep, 50 sting, all one. Ready?
Keep in mind the clock continues to run until the last minute of each half. The numbers on Nagel, 4 touchdowns for tonight. Wagner in motion, bottom of your screen. Nagel going deep, looking for Wyatt. Oh! Double coverage, he had it, he dropped it, but Nagel, Merril, put the ball right where it had to be.
Boy, and Wyatt has taken some shots tonight. Wyatt, he went up to catch every ball. Unfortunately, Albany's defense and the secondary people have timed things very nice tonight. They came up and smacked the ball and Wyatt all at the same time. Boy, good timing there. Knocked the ball away, and then Wyatt.
Well, Nagel's not happy. The ball was thrown beautifully, but to Wyatt's defense, great coverage by Albany. They had 2 Firebirds over the middle. It's Barry Wagner at the 15. Wagner cuts back at the 10, and he's inside the 5. Well, he could smell that end zone.
Well, it was a nice job by Nagel. Cooper was looping. He was going to dump the ball off quickly there, but he saw Wagner come wide open across the middle. Got him the ball. You see Brown, he pumps here. Cooper's in motion. He's going to get him the ball. Then he sees Wagner out of the corner of his eye.
So Wagner, 3 touchdowns shy of 200. He'd be the first to reach that plateau. Nagel, quickly, touchdown, Cooper. Brett Cooper with his 10th touchdown, but his first in the last couple of weeks.
Big drive and an important drive for Orlando to get back in this game. The extra point is critical because it puts you to an 8-point game if you make it. And then you need your defense to create a stop and get the ball back. Nice throw by Browning.
And David Cool splits the uprights, 6-12 now. It's an 8-point ball game again. Brett Cooper, the 6th-year man out of Central Florida, pulls in his 10th touchdown of 1999.
Shower massage from Teledyne Waterpick.
The crowd. The view. The crane. Arena football, where the fans are as pumped as the players. Watch it on ESPN and ESPN2.
Back in Albany, and it's back to 8, favoring the Firebirds 48-40. Join us this Saturday for one of the most exciting matchups of the season when George LaFrance and the Tampa Bay Storm travel to Orlando to battle Barry Wagner and the Orlando Predators. A rematch of last season's Arena Bowl when Orlando knocked off Tampa Bay to capture the title. That's Tampa Bay at Orlando this Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. Boy, LaFrance, Wagner, Hunky Cooper, 3 of the greats. So David Cool now ready to kick off. Orlando with 6-12 to work with. They're down by 8 points. Cool drives it off the net, pretty high off the net. Whoa! Johnson, live football. Eddie Brown knocks it out of bounds. Smart play by Eddie Brown.
Yeah, because you didn't have much of a chance for a return. You knew Orlando would be breathing down your neck. Might as well just save a hit, get the ball out of bounds, and not risk a chance for a turnover.
Well, Van Johnson definitely having some problems playing it off the net. They've yet to return a kick this year for a touchdown. So So Pulowski comes out. He'll work 45 yards away from Pater. Stagger count, penalty flag. William Carr, the former Michigan Wolverine, busting through that time, but the penalty flags had stopped the play before it started.
Offside defense, number 21, contact in the neutral zone.
Offside goes against Kevin Gaines.
Gaines is getting a little excited there. But this is an important drive for your defense. And hey, it's an important drive for Albany's offense too. I mean, if you can match this score and keep it at a two-score game, time is on your side now.
That's complete to Carl Seiko. Second-year man of the CW post, and boy, he paid the price. At least the sound of it, that sounded painful as he got racked into the boards.
Boy, nice protection up front. Pulowski does a nice job of finding a passing lane, moving around the pocket, and then the wall. The wall. I love the wall.
And unlike Pink Floyd, the wall doesn't come tumbling down. First down. Pulowski. There's a pump fake. Eddie Brown overshoots him in the end zone. Eddie McIntyre, the glove on the coverage for Orlando.
Now you can see why McIntyre tries to keep a lot of cushion between Eddie Brown. You said stop and go because he didn't let Eddie Brown break down that cushion and get up on him. He had some separation. He could turn and run with Eddie Brown because Eddie doesn't have blazing speed that he can just run by him. McIntyre is able to turn his hips and run with him.
70 stop. All right.
The Firebirds now. 2nd and 10. And the ball at the 18. Great game. Two great franchises. Orlando playing the 9th season in Orlando. And the penalty flags will stop this play as well. Only Albany has a longer run starting their 10th year here in New York.
Game offense, number 9.
Now the penalty flag goes against the Firebirds, pushing the ball back to the 15, just over the 15. At about the 15 and a
Wrong
half.
trade left. That's Joe. 30 stop, 8 slant. All right.
Second and just under 13 yards for the first down as we approach the 4-minute mark. Pulowski, this one's batted up at the line of scrimmage and it falls incomplete. Brett Cooper spotted it, but a little bit too late, couldn't get over there in time.
And right now, Orlando's secondary is really challenging Albany's receivers. They're getting up at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to jam them. What you have to have from Albany now is a receiver that can get off the jam. Avoid somebody. If you do that, you have a potential for a big play down the field.
Well, at the top of the broadcast, we said they slugged it out last week for 60 minutes. They are definitely slugging it out in the trenches right now. Pulowski. Oh, he is nailed. Rick Hamilton came busting through. B.J. Cohen out of Marshall had put some pressure on Pulowski, and then Rick Hamilton came and lowered the boom.
Mike, that's the problem with being 3rd and long. You got to hold the ball a little longer. The route's got to be a little deeper. Unfortunately, Pulowski takes the brunt of that because he tried to hold the ball a little longer, let some of the routes develop so he could get it down the field.
2 for 10. Keep in mind, though, the ball spotted at the 7. He's got a strong left leg. Oh! Hamilton, boy, he got it there awfully quick. And Kenny McIntyre falls on it in the end zone for a touchdown. That is a huge play if it goes for 6. Mike Daly's on the field. Penalty flags are down.
So that penalty flag is late. I don't know if the officials missed something, but if they miss it, they grossly miss this. Unless it's a penalty for somebody saying something after the touchdown.
Now, how did Hamilton get into that quickly?
Well, now you cannot rush from the outside, and I didn't see where he came from. It looked like the outside.
Touchdown stands.
Touchdown stands.
Sportsmanlike conduct on Orlando for removing the helmet.
Oh, I'd like to see that replay. Somebody broke down here. Wow. Boy, he came from the outside. You talk about, that's a huge mental error. You're responsible for blocking that guy, and nobody even went out on him. And I really believe what the guard was thinking is you can't really rush from the outside. And he felt like he was probably outside the box.
There you see 2:22 to go, and Mike Daly now starting to sweat a little. 48-46. And obviously Nagel goes for two. The ball resting at the 11 after the penalty against the Predators. Twin receivers, top of your screen. Wagner down at the bottom. Wyatt in motion. And it's picked off. They're going to bring it back. That's Stingley. He's going to take it back all the way. But the officials are saying, no, bring it back. Derek Stingley, the son of former Patriot receiver Darryl Stingley. The ball cannot be returned on the extra point, but Stingley was all over that one. It cannot be returned.
You know, Mike, sometimes you don't think penalties after touchdowns are that big a deal. Well, it really hurt Orlando there, having to back up after they're trying a two-point conversion.
Talk about getting caught up in the excitement. A lot of excitement. Halfway through, I was thinking, you can't return that. But look at the numbers, 48-46, under 2 minutes to go.
The Maxima has a legendary power plant. It's been known as a state-of-the-art engine for a long time. This one is even better. The engineers figured out a way to get 32 more horsepower into the car to bring it up to a total of 222. You can feel that right away as soon as you push the accelerator. Whoa.
How far away are you from using the internet to solve a business problem? How far away are you from finding a great idea in your company's database? How far away are you from evolving the technology you have today into the solutions you'll need tomorrow? Well, if you start by building on software you know from Microsoft, like thousands of companies already have, you're closer than you think.
A minute 55 to go. It's a 2-point ball game in Albany.
Now, even though this didn't count, watch Jay Gruden right there.
I think that was his way of saying, hey, you can't return.
It wasn't a great effort to trip him, but nonetheless, it was an effort.
I think Jay realized, unlike myself, I got caught up in excitement. Stingley was caught up in excitement. He was returning it, and Gruden was saying, you can't return that. 48-46. And big recovery there on the kick by the Firebirds inside the 20. John Summerday out of Temple, the rookie. He's a 4-year starter for the Owls, and he just made a big play on the kick receive team. And our Iron Man goes to Mr. Hopkins. Greg Hopkins out of Slippery Rock.
Here we go. Let's play the end of
Boy, Summerday. He'll be thinking about that one tonight when he hits the sack.
Yeah, offensive line guys don't get to touch the ball that much unless you're the center. Anytime you can make a critical play like that in the game, you remember for a long time.
Minute 33 to go. 48-46. Eddie Brown looking, lunging, and he stopped just shy of that end zone. Eddie Brown looking for that third touchdown to match Barry Wagner. Boy, he was close on this one, Mr. Hodge.
Boy, and Pulowski does a nice job of getting rid of the ball quickly. That's one of the most important things to being a quarterback in this league. Getting rid of that ball quickly. Eddie Brown, nice job of turning the ball. Getting upfield once he catches the ball. Getting his momentum turned and upfield.
On that replay, you might have shot that he touched the wall, but if your feet are in bounds, you can touch that wall.
Hard to tell from that angle, but if his feet were in bounds, you're okay to push your hand on the wall and bounce off it.
Jay Gruden, 61 seconds to go.
Right here. I left, H move, fullback kick right. On it, ready?
All right, that's a fullback quick quick ride, a straight, quickest way from A to B is a straight line. Attitude. Offensive lineman got to come off the ball.
Hopkins in motion. They keep it on the ground. Ooh! Touchdown! Wow! That was Tim Brown.
You remember you heard the word attitude? Attitude in the huddle? That means come off the ball and want it.
Look at Tim.
Now you watch Mason coming across here. Boy, you come on up to make a hit. That's like 240 on about 170. And when you got momentum like that, the 170 is gonna take the wrong end. Boy, that's attitude. Wow.
Well, Tim Brown, the former West Virginia Mountaineer, came in #1 in rushing at 19.8 yards a game. And he just punched in a very, very important touchdown for the Firebirds. Silvestri comes on, converts, and we're going to keep it right here in the last 55 seconds. And number 82, Greg Hopkins, out of Slippery Rock, the 4-year man, is our Iron Man of the game.
And Mikey started this whole game off with the touchdown. Early in the game, people were after Eddie Brown, and he set the tempo. He got physical, and then he made a lot of big plays defensively. Coming up, you see him lead at the shoulder, and then brings the arms and makes the tackle. Keeps the head in front to make a nice tackle. And then another touchdown. Hopkins had an outstanding all-around game, made a lot of big plays. Saw the touchdowns, and those are probably the things you see on all the highlight reels, but it was the tackles that I felt were the most important because he made some key stops tonight.
Second team All-Arena last year. He is our Iron Man of the game here tonight. Reminds me a lot of Gary Compton for the Mustangs in Milwaukee. Mike Daly now leads with less than a minute to go, 55-46. And this would prevent being swept by Orlando, and it would push the Firebirds to 5-2. Half game up on New England. Silvestri, high, very high after that. Wow. Almost over the net for the second straight time. Wagner tripped up at the 5. Good coverage again for Albany. Down on the kick coverage, Jay Jones.
You know, Mike, you make an interesting point when you talk about tiebreakers. What's important in this game is if you're Albany and winning this game, you got to win by more than 7 points. Orlando won by 7 points last week. Right now you're winning by more than 7. You got to keep that margin because if it comes down to a tiebreaker, they go to the points. Because both these teams have split.
That's a great point. They fight for home field advantage in the postseason. Brownie Nagel, less than a minute to go. This one's complete. Antoine Wyatt just shy of the 20-yard line. So at the top of the broadcast, we talked about Eddie Brown, Barry Wagner. There's the numbers so far. Wagner with 6 catches. Brown now with 8. That's 3 more than he had a week ago. But look at the yards, 135.
Yep. You know what? And Barry didn't have the game that he had last week. And Eddie had a game that he wanted to have tonight. Didn't have as many touchdowns as he would have liked, but he had the yards. He had big plays that got him down into scoring territory.
Eddie Brown won the scoring title in 94, 96, and 98. Brown and Wagner traded off the scoring titles every other year since 93. Browning, it's Cooper at the 15, another penalty flag. Drop back here at the 20. 41 seconds to go. The call.
Illegal defense. Number 82 was out of the box. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play.
Completed pass. The penalty went against Hopkins, our Iron Man of the game, so they'll decline.
Greg's letting that Iron Man go to his head. What he did there in arena football, the linebacker, the Greg plays, you got to mirror the quarterback. The Jill linebacker cannot leave the box, and he left the box there, and that's why he got the penalty. That's the only mistake he's made tonight, and really it hasn't cost Albany anything.
Wyatt in motion now. He'll be surfacing right there at the top of your screen. Browning Nagel. And look who's in the end zone. Lo and behold, it's Barry Wagner once again.
And what's the most important thing on your screen right now is this, 36 seconds. They scored twice on this play here. Nice job of running Barry on an in route or crossing route. As you clear the defenders out, you run a screen in behind, and you hold the secondary by pumping the ball.
That's a good point when you pointed out the 36 seconds, because that gives him 4 touchdowns, 198 for his career. But he said before, earlier tonight, they said, well, winning's the most important thing. And he's so proud of the championship ring. We're going for 2. Ronnie Nagel on the 2-point conversion, looking over the middle, looking for Cooper. Comes back in the end. Oh! Oh! Barry Wagner went up and over. And I'm not so sure if he went up and over or just simply took it away.
Ronnie Nagel, the last resort was just, you know what? Everybody's covered. You watch Brownie Nagel. He just waits and waits for somebody to get open. He's all right. Who will make a play for me? All right. Wagner, I'm going to give you a chance. And Wagner always comes down with the ball.
You know, Gruden was telling us at the hotel today, he said, you know, sometimes he'll just tell his quarterback to go out there and throw it up.
Yeah, he goes, I never thought I'd call a play where I said, okay, everybody hit your outs, Barry go deep, and throw the ball up to him.
Boy, what a great job of concentration by Barry Wagner.
Well, it's nice to have a player like that you can be that comfortable to say, okay, we need a play, throw it up to Barry, he'll make a play.
So Gruden watches his star pupil. 4 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, but Mike Daly still leads 55-54 with 36 seconds to go.
You know, you had one successful onside kick. The difference is this one's expected. Albany's got players up there and they're ready for it. The previous one caught Albany off guard.
Eddie Brown's at about the 19, no one deep. There's the onside kick, and it's picked up and returned. Oh! That's our Iron Man, Mr. Hopkins. Smart play, heads-up play. Did what he had to do, which was first get possession of the football, and he said, hey, if no one's going to touch me, I'm going to pick it up and take it in for the touchdown, which, of course, he did.
Yeah, Mike, you're exactly right. When you're on the onside team, called the hands team, your first objective is to secure the football. He does that. He's like, hey, I know nobody's touched me. I can still get up and make a play. And well, coaches will tell you, if you're going to get up and make a play, you better score a touchdown. And he did it. He did everything you're supposed to do. Secure it. Make sure it's okay. Nobody's touched me. Get up. Score.
61-54. Mr. Silvestri, 62-54. With a half a minute to go, penalty flag dropped. As was Keith Bryant, number 95.
Penalty was for an
Pick up the flag. Extra point is good for Silvestri, and it's 62-54 with 30 seconds to play. We'll keep it right here in Albany, New York. The Firebirds 30 seconds away from taking a half-game lead on New England, who lost to Milwaukee. Orlando, if they should fall short, will go to 4-3. Now, no team has ever lost 3 or more regular season games and hosted the Arena Bowl championship.
Now, Mike, I don't want to say it again, but you're down by 8. You have 30 seconds left. There's plenty of time for overtime.
Mike Daly in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Firebirds.
You know what, like Mike Daly told us when we met with him, he said you can never relax in this league at any time. And you would think 30 seconds, you know what, 8-point lead. Hey, don't relax, because if you relax, this game could be tied up, you could be in overtime, and mentally you could have shut down, and you lose it in overtime.
Well, Silvestri, no onside kick this time. Whoa! That's the 2nd time tonight. It's almost the 3rd that he put it right over the net. So no time. It lapses off the clock.
You know, Mike, we talked about being physical, and Albany really wanted to set the tempo and be physical, and they did it. They did it everywhere. Special teams, in the secondary, around the line of scrimmage. They hit the quarterback. They hit the running back. They played more physical, and that was one of their goals tonight, and really set the tempo, and they stayed with it all night.
30 seconds to go. Browning Nagel. Deflected but caught by Wagner. Boy, this guy's got great concentration to go with his great hands. Nagel calling for the timeout. It seems like yesterday Nagel was the MVP of the Fiesta Bowl, and Louisville rolled over Alabama. He threw for over 400 yards, and now he faces a very, very crucial time of this 1999 season. The difference between a 5-2 and 4-3 record with 20 seconds on the clock.
At 20 seconds, it is an eternity. I'm telling you, I smell overtime, Mike. I hope you didn't have plans after this.
Newman left shift.
In 7 division, Orlando at 4-2, Tampa Bay. They lost to Grand Rapids, which dropped them to 4-2. Albany at 4-2, New England at 4-2. So Albany, well, let's just say whoever wins the football game will move up by a half game in their respective division.
And if the score stays like this, then Albany has the advantage when it comes to a tiebreaker, if it would come to that with these two teams.
And don't forget Orlando, Tampa Bay next week on ESPN2, and then the following week we'll have Albany back on with Buffalo, as Buffalo's still searching for that first win.
Yeah, you know, one thing about this league that, as I have watched it, studied it,
here we go now.
Is a lot more parity in the league than at the beginning. A lot of teams.
59 Storm, deep post in on 2, ready?
A lot of teams able to win a championship this year, not just 1 or 2.
Still wide open. 22 seconds on the clock. Down to 19 now. Nagel. Oh, he's hit from behind. And Cooper had it, and he dropped it at the 21. Boy, Nagel was hit from behind, and he still was pretty close to being right on the money.
Yeah, he was. You know, Cooper just got to concentrate a little longer. It's a tough catch. You got to come back across your body. But boy, at a time like this, and in a situation like this is when you got to make plays.
Well, once again, it was Joe Jacobs, number 56. Little lack of concentration by Mr. Cooper that time.
I think you got to credit Stingley. I think he knocked the ball out there.
Nagel. Cooper. This time he's overshot. Overthrown into the stands. And we're down to 12 seconds. 8-point spread favoring the Firebirds.
You know, you're 4th and 1. You need a score, but what's most important right now, you got to prioritize. You got to get a first down.
Left yo-yo. 59 left flat, screen right to T on 2, ready?
All right, now they're going to run the fullback to the left. The tight end you've seen raise his hand. Number 90 is going to come out for a little screen.
Nagel, there's some heat. And it's complete, but they're not going anywhere with that one. Down to the last 6 seconds. Little completion over the middle. McKenzie. We're going to start that clock. So 6 seconds to go, 8-point spread. I think it's safe to say that Albany, I mean, it's rare to say this. Not very often do you have the opportunity to say it's safe to say Albany's going to get the win, but they're going to go to 5-2, Merrill.
Yeah, this is what they needed. This is what they wanted. You know, Orlando has to regroup. They go back home, and they face their all-time rivalry, the Tampa Bay. The road's tough for both these teams, you know, but to win this one is very big for Albany.
Pulowski, quick handoff. Goes to Tim Brown. And that's going to be it. Says the horn sounds here in Pepsi Arena in Albany, New York. Mike Daly picks up another W. Mike Pulowski and company, they go to 5-2. Orlando drops to 4-3. So our final score, Albany winning it over Orlando, preventing the sweep at 62-54. For Merril Hoge, this is Mike Gleason saying so long from Albany. Coming up next on ESPN is NFL Tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more information, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Our final score once again, Albany 62, Orlando 54. See you next week from Orlando.